Live from George Sparky Anderson Field. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We have a great CCL matchup for you today. The Conejo Oaks and the Arroyo Seco Saints. Should be a good one today. Your starting pitchers, Jerry Ramirez for the Oaks, Mark Tyndall for the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Oaks are coming off a loss to the Foresters, and that loss actually broke a 10-game winning streak that the Oaks had been compiling. So it's time for the Oaks to get back to business here, get back to their winning ways. The Oaks currently sit fourth in the CCL in standings, 10-7, and in the second to last spot is the Arroyo Seco Saints. I'm Jordan Brenner. I'm with Jonathan Rifkin today, my broadcasting partner in crime, and on production, Sean McKinnon. Jonathan, as I bring you into the broadcast, how do the Oaks get back to their winning ways and recover after that tough 7-2 loss to the Foresters yesterday?
Well, you know what's funny is that this Oaks team isn't much different than what we saw a couple of days ago on Sunday, and when they had that 10-game winning streak. Yes, they lost to the Foresters yesterday, but it was the Foresters. You're talking about perhaps the best summer collegiate league team in the country. For the Oaks, they were overmatched, they were sluggish, they were lackluster. The offense wasn't there. Brandon Lewis played well, Elijah Alexander played well, but other than that, it was kind of a very, I guess I'll use lackluster again, because that's really the best word to describe it, showing on offense. The team took a lot of good pitches on the outside corner. They swung at a lot of bad pitches, especially high fastballs. The discipline wasn't there. So what today needs to show from this team is going back to swing at the good pitches, showing the discipline on the bad pitches, and having a cleaner effort on the defensive end. I don't think the outfielders in yesterday's game, Tyler Ryan, Chase Cockrell, and Elijah, actually I say Elijah Alexander, discard Elijah Alexander from this list. I think Chase Cockrell out in left and Tyler Ryan out of right could have played a little bit better out there, been a little bit more aggressive. There were some balls that could have been caught in foul territory for Tyler Ryan on the right side. Chase Cockrell could have caught up to a couple of singles on the left side. If they show a little bit more aggression out of the defensive side of things out there in the outfield, and of course you had that Sam Shaken error where he took a short hop and had to readjust. You take that coupled with the lackluster outfield play, that was the biggest reason on top of the early lead that the Foresters were able to maintain that the Oaks lost. If they could find a way to get the bats roaring again, to show the speed out there in the outfield, to control the at-bats, I think that was the other thing. The Foresters were controlling every at-bat. For a good reason, the Foresters' offense is unparalleled in the CCL or any team, maybe the Warren Gateman in the Cape Cod League, but of any team, other team in the country. But for the Conejo Oaks, they're the second best team in the CCL in my book. From what we've seen through the stretch of this July, early part of July, they've beaten the Riptide, they've beaten Healdsburg Prune Packers. The one team that they haven't beaten that they've played is the Arroyo Seco Saints, this being the second matchup, with the exception of Santa Barbara, of course. This being the second matchup, and they took a bad 5-4 loss the last time they played on June 20th. And so what they need to do is, this is a new Oaks team. Just get the bats hot again. Get up early, stay up, and rely on the pitching a little bit stronger, because I think the back of the bullpen played very well yesterday. Jackson was good. John Vergara came in, and he was pretty good. Joe Torres had a couple of good innings, but they were playing down, and that was the problem. Get up early, rely on the bullpen, trust your defense, and at the end of the day, you'll come away with more wins. And I think this team is poised for another winning streak.
A lot of great points right there, Jonathan. You mentioned the previous matchup against the Arroyo Seco Saints, and it was a little bit unusual on the Oaks end of things, because usually the Oaks are the ones coming back late in ball games. In that previous matchup on June 20th, the Oaks grabbed a 3-0 lead through 4 innings, and then they couldn't score the rest of the ball game. The Saints, though, they put up 4 runs in the final 4 frames of the ball game to upset the Oaks right here at Sparky Anderson Field. That was one of the best wins of the season for the Saints, but here's a Saints team that, you know, they've lost 4 of 5 games, but they have the ability to beat any team in the CCL, and they've already shown that. They beat Santa Barbara for only their 3rd loss of the season. So this should be a very interesting matchup today. The Oaks yesterday, they were punched in the mouth. Jonathan Lavallee only lasted 2 innings, gave up 3 runs, and the Oaks really couldn't come back from that. They were shut out by the starting pitcher, Tanner Bibby from Cal State Fullerton. We're going to go right into lineups now. First for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Leading off from UC Davis, the third baseman, Cameron Briggs. In the 2-hole, Drew Calley, the shortstop from Cal Poly Pomona. Batting third, Nick Lacio from Michigan State, the left fielder. In the fourth hole, Cooper Williams, the first baseman from New Mexico State. Batting fifth, Mitch Kerner, the catcher from Emory. After him, Jacob Jenkins, the switch-hitting right fielder from Mid-America Nazarene. Batting seventh, Tristan Peterson. He's DHing today from New Mexico State. Batting eighth in center field from Arizona State, Jack Smith. And rounding out the order, the second baseman, undecided where he's going to go in the fall, Bobby Fulkerson. Well, the Oaks field is as follow. In left field, Chase Cockrell. The center fielder, Andrew Lucas. In right field, Michael Spears. The infield looks as follows. Brandon Lewis at third. Sam Shake in the shortstop. Will Picketts gets the start at second base. And Jordan McFarland is at first. Zach Kamenko is the catcher for Coach Solis's squad. And on the mound from Glendale City College, Jerry Ramirez. And Jonathan, while we have a second, let's talk about Jerry Ramirez for a second, because for the most part this year he's come out of the bullpen. We've seen him go multiple inning stretches, but how big would it be if Jerry Ramirez can stretch his outing out to maybe 3, 4, or 5 innings?
Jerry is currently the second highest ERA on the team, and he hasn't pitched like it. I think he had a bad start to the season, but since then he has been really, really good out of the bullpen, someone you can rely on. His fastball placement, I think, is his biggest issue. If he can place that fastball elsewhere in the strike zone other than over the heart of the plate, he'll have an effective 1-2 punch with that fastball and with that curveball. The reason he's been knocked around, he's been giving up 20 hits on the season, is because he's been throwing that fastball for hits. His biggest strength is that curveball. His 12-6 curveball is unlike any other curveball in this team, with the exception of maybe Jackson Simonsgard, who we saw yesterday. Jerry's effectiveness with that curveball is unbelievable. I mean, watch for that curveball today, because it's going to give the Arroyo Seco St. batters fits. It's going to keep them off balance, and it's going to get them swinging and missing a lot, especially at pitches buried in the dirt. If he can find a way to balance the fastball, keep it away from the heart of the plate, up in the zone, establish that high part, and then go to the curveball, bury it in the dirt for strike three, or get a strike ahead on that curveball, he's going to be really good today. And there's no reason that he wouldn't. He's been, like you said, he's shown signs of very good life out of the bullpen. To get a start, to go maybe 4 or 5 innings, not only is it going to help his ERA if he can keep the Arroyo Seco Saints offense at bay, but it's going to give him confidence. And that's something that I think this pitching staff as a whole is starting to gain a little bit more of as they start to round out here towards the latter part of the season. You go 3 innings, you give up 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and no runs, you're feeling confident about yourself. And I think for Jerry, he is more than capable of doing that and going 4 or 5 innings without giving up a run, maybe 1. But today's going to be his day to prove it, and I think he will.
Yeah, we've seen Jerry Ramirez. His curveball is definitely his bread and butter pitch. He actually appeared in the first matchup against the Arroyo Seco Saints on June 20th. It was not his best outing whatsoever. He only lasted 1 inning, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, didn't strike out a batter. But that's why we're here. That's why we play summer baseball. It's to improve. It's to be able to show signs of life late in the season and to make tweaks to make sure you're as effective as possible going into your collegiate season next year. We're just a few minutes away from the national anthem break, and we're going to head to break right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back very shortly on Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We are back here, just about set for first pitch. It's a lovely day here in Thousand Oaks, California. A reiteration of the first three hitters for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Cameron Briggs, the third baseman, followed by Drew Cowley, and third, Nick Lacio. He's in the hole from Michigan State. The Oaks are sporting their baby blue uniforms. They have navy letters on the back, a white strip on their shoulders, and the white pants. For the Arroyo Seco Saints, navy blue jerseys, gold letters and numbers, and gray pants. Just about set for first pitch. Ramirez gets a good firm grip on that baseball, and Cameron Briggs steps on in there. Ramirez peers in for the first sign of the day from Zach Kamenko, and from the stretch, here's the pitch. Ground ball. Third baseman Lewis dives, can't get it. Shaken on the backhand, throws across his body, not in time. Just about a step, and Shaken is all the way in foul territory. First pitch time is 5:06 p.m. What an interesting start to this ball game, Jonathan, right away with almost a Webb Gem caliber play. Wow, that right. Cali has a home run as well as 10 extra base hits, and he's added 11 RBIs, which is a team-leading number. The lefty ready for the 1-1 pitch. Scoreboard is not on yet. Here's the pitch. A fly ball to the left side, but well out of play. Cockrell going to jog on over, maybe a little bit of a stretch out. He had no chance to get that ball. And the count is 1-2. There was actually a CCL prospect list unveiled today. We'll get into that in very great detail as the broadcast continues. Next pitch, foul to the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Jerry Ramirez, it's a fastball, curveball, changeup, cutter combination. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. And Ramirez is making his first start of the year. The ERA is just above 6 in 16 1/3. Runner goes. Ramirez steps off. Throws to Shaken at second. The tag is in time for the first out of the game.
Easy 1-6 put on. If you're the Oaks and Shaken, whether or not that umpire missed the call at first base, it doesn't matter because all of a sudden you get the base runner eliminated now.
Heads up play from Ramirez. And the 1-2 pitch about to be on its way. Here's the flip. High on the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jerry Ramirez has not given up a home run this year, so he's very good at keeping the ball in the yard. Next pitch in the dirt, swung on and missed. Ramirez, his first K of the ball game, a lovely off-speeder that bounces on the plate and got Cali out fishing.
That's what Ramirez will do right here, keeping batters off balance. We talked about that, Jordan, in the pregame. What's the key for Jerry Ramirez here in his first start of the season? Find ways to keep the Saints off balance, throw that fastball effectively, throw that curveball, mix it up, mix up speeds, mix up locations, and he did that exact thing in that at-bat. Well done from Jerry Ramirez.
Nick Lacio, first pitch curveball, hits him on the elbow. He didn't do anything to get out of the way of that one, but he's awarded with first base.
He didn't even flinch.
Not at all. And now Jerry Ramirez is actually tied for the lead in hit by pitches on this Oaks pitching staff. He ties David Appleby with his 4th hit by pitch of the season. So runner on first base, 2 outs for Cooper Williams. Cooper Williams, 266, a home run, 9 RBIs, has drawn 7 walks. First pitch, he's up hacking, and he foul tips it. The count is 0-1. Cam go over to have a word with his pitcher, Jerry. Kamenko last got the start. against the Academy Barons in Compton in game 1 of the doubleheader. Next pitch. Did he go? No, he did not, says the second base umpire.
That was a good call. Williams held his bat there wisely, showing that he did not indeed good. I'm actually surprised that the home plate umpire appealed, because that bat was stopped behind the plane.
The 1-1 pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike. 86 miles an hour on the fastball for Jerry. Two one is outside. Now 3-1 from Ramirez. Mundane crowd on hand today. A little bit smaller than yesterday's big Foresters game. It's hard to compete with one of the best rivalries in the CCL. 3-1 is at the knees, called a strike, but Williams was ready to trot on over to first base. Tosses his bat over the dugout. But he's got to go fetch it and get ready for the full count pitch.
What do you think you do here if you're Jerry in a full count situation? You've used that curveball twice in this at-bat right there, very effective, and was lucky to get that strike. But you've established that low part and the top part. Do you go back to the curveball and try to hit the zone, or you go fastball?
I would probably go fastball, trust my defense. The runner's going. 3-2 pitch is a fastball. A grounder in foul territory now, rolling over to the Saints bullpen out in deep right field. The Oaks will have an off day both Thursday and Friday of this week. Couldn't get a game scheduled in there as much as Coach Sillies wanted to. The pitch, 3-2, a big rip and a miss. The second strikeout of the ball game for Jerry Ramirez, who does not surrender a run in this first inning. He gives up a hit, no errors, and a runner left aboard. We're through a half inning. The Oaks have Michael Spears, Brandon Lewis, and Jordan McFarland when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We're in for the bottom of the first inning. Michael Spears to lead it off for the Conejo Oaks. Spears is an Ole Miss Rebel. And he waits the first pitch from Mark Tyndall out of Trinity University out in Texas. First pitch high and inside, 1-0. The Conejo Oaks lineup is as follows. Spears, Brandon Lewis, Jordan McFarland, your first three. Chase Cockrell, Bart West, Sam Shaken. Next pitch on the outside corner. And after Shaken, to round out the order, Andrew Lucas, Will Picketts, and Zach Kamiko. Next pitch fouled back out of play. Count is 0-2. The field for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Out in left field, Nick Lacio. In center field, Jack Smith and Jacob Jenkins in right field. The 1-2 pitch to Spears fouled back to the screen. And the count remains 1-2. Then field for the Saints, Cameron Briggs at third, Drew Calley, the shortstop. Bobby Fulkerson plays second base. Cooper Williams, first base. Mitch Kerner does the job squatting behind the plate. Oaks lineup has been very hot as of late. Nobody hotter, though, than Brandon Lewis. 1-2, just low and away. Spears lays off. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good spot here for Spears, working the count. Look for something quick.
Spears' averages all the way up to 206 as the 2-2 pitch misses high. And for a while, his average was well below 100. He has a team-leading 9 stolen bases. Full count. Inside, and Spears draws a walk. The first Oak to go to the batter's box ends up on base.
Jordan, do you know how many walks the Oaks drew yesterday against the Foresters?
Sorry, what was that, John?
Do you know how many walks the Oaks drew against the Foresters yesterday?
1, 2.
Only 1. Already 1 walk up on the board, and the patience wasn't there. They were facing much faster pitching in Tanner Bibby, who's throwing in the mid-90s, but they were very high fastballs or pitches in the dirt that the Oaks are swinging and missing at. Even if you're throwing fast or slow, it doesn't matter. You can pick up on what a pitcher's tells are, and this Oaks team couldn't do that yesterday, but right there, Spears did it very well.
Brandon Lewis with a shot through the left side. He's quickly 1 for 1. And now runners on first and second base, nobody out. For the Arkansas Rebel, Jordan McFarland.
The first baseman from Arkansas, number 37, Jordan McFarland.
Brandon Lewis, one of the two Oaks productive hitters yesterday. Elijah Alexander with 3 for 4. Brandon Lewis was 3 for 4. He had a double, a home run, and a single. Continuing to do what he does best, which is get on base quickly and counts.
And Lewis entered the day with an average at 369. You better believe he's above 370 now. First pitch to McFarland, a high chopping ground ball to the shortstop. Cowley to second base. They get Lewis by a step. Spears over to third base, and McFarland reaches first on the fielder's choice. .64 on the putout. And Chase Cockrell, his first at-bat of the day. He's been uncharacteristically cold as of late. Was hitless in yesterday's ball game. Struck out more than I'm sure he's used to. And he swings through the first pitch. It's 0-1. Cockrell, however, despite his recent struggles, still second on the team in average at 351. 448 on base percentage. Actually leads the team. He drills a foul ball out to right field, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes quickly. Cockrell loves to do damage with hits, but I'm sure everybody with the Oaks, Coach Solis especially, would be very happy with a productive out that scores Michael Spears from third base. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss for Cockrell. Not what he wanted. An off-speed pitch buried in the dirt. And now 2 outs in the inning with runners on the corners.
In the last 3 games, Chase Cockrell has struck out 6 times. In the previous 8 games before that, Chase Cockrell struck out 4 times. Not exactly sure what's changed for him. Maybe he's not seeing the strike zone as well, or pitchers have picked up how to pitch to him, but something is a little bit off with him right now.
Bart West takes the first pitch ball. It's 1-0. Baseball players, they go through slumps all the time. And I think that's all it is with Chase Cockrell. Even the best of them struggle at points during the season. It's a grind. 1-0 pitch. Runner from first goes, but McFarland will have to retreat to first base on the chopper foul ball by Bart West. Bart West on the season, hitting .286. And something really interesting about Bart West that you don't often see, he leads the team in both walks and strikeouts. 1-1 to West. Slider slides off the plate away, 2 balls and a strike. Tyndall back on the rubber, trying to escape a bottom of the first inning jam. The 2-1 toss. Lined out to right center field, relatively deep, way back, and at the track, off the wall. Michael Spears scores. Jordan McFarland hustling, held it for a second, now retreats to the plate. The throw is
The catcher should
in time, and
Ooh.
McFarland is out. A questionable play. I know what you're thinking, Jonathan.
That can't happen.
It looks like Mitch Kerner was blocking the plate, and that hesitation by McFarland after rounding third base ultimately costs the Oaks 1 run. But they do get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. The Oaks take a 1-0 lead despite the drama. We're going to go to the second inning here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Mitch Kerner, the catcher, leads off for the Arroyo Seco Saints here in the top of the second inning. For the Saints, it has been a little bit of a grind as of late, as I mentioned in pregame. They are losers of 4 of their last 5 contests. Jerry Ramirez drops the hammer, a big curveball at the knees for strike 1. The Saints last played yesterday. They lost against the Orange County Riptide at home in Pasadena, as the 0-1 pitch comes in. Diving line drive. Andrew Lucas there to make the play in center field. 2 pitches, 1 out. Here in the top of the second inning, Jerry Ramirez looks very composed on the mound. He's impressed both Jonathan and I in the early goings of this ball game. Jacob Jenkins, a switch hitting right fielder, is the next batter to hit here in the top of the second inning. Jenkins sports one of the best flows in the CCL. A shot into right center field. Andrew Lucas hustles to cut off that ball. A big turn at first base, but Jenkins held to a base hit, the second of the ball game for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Beautiful hit right there, but give credit to Andrew Lucas. That could have been good for a double, or for extra bases, at least a double, but he had the resilience to cut off that ball. Instead of trying to get to the ball, he went to behind the ball, knew where the ball would end up, and on the second bounce, quickly threw it in a one-hopper back to second, and that's how you play textbook defense. Even if you can't make the out, you do your best to limit the damage done to as minimal as possible.
A DH Tristan Peterson takes an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, low and inside. 1-0. As I was talking about, Arroyo Seco Saints last lost yesterday. And before that game, They went up to Healdsburg and lost 3 of 4 games to the Prune Packers. Their lone win came in the second game of a doubleheader. 1-0 pitch, foul tipped off the plate. 1 ball and a strike. Before that 3 out of 4 series defeat, they got their biggest win of the season. They actually went to Santa Barbara and beat the Foresters 8-7 in a crazy ball game. They have a lot of work to do to get back in to the CCL playoff conversation. And it all starts here against Conejo, one of the hotter teams in the league. The 1-1 toss from Ramirez swung on and missed. Jenkins began to go from first base, but was wise and retreated back to the base. And the count is 1-2. Oaks at double play depth. The 1-2 toss from Ramirez. He pauses and delivers. In the dirt, good block from Kamiko. He gets the ball, fires over to second base, but Jenkins too fast. Got a good jump and read on the baseball. And that's going to go down as a wild pitch.
And I think Jenkins was not necessarily looking to steal, but he was dancing over there at first base. On the previous pitch, he left actually off of first base. Everybody said runner, but he quickly retreated back. Right there, he wasn't committed to stealing, but he had a fair lead, and Jerry didn't do anything to hold him. Allowed him to take second base, even though it was actually a very close play on the wild pitch.
Ramirez sends, though, the 2-2 and a big swing and a miss. His third strikeout of the ball game, a big one. Now 2 outs here in the second inning. A runner on second base for Jack Smith. Ramirez only 1 out needed to get out of this frame.
Right fielder from Arizona State, number 13, Jack Smith.
Jack Smith, the center fielder out of Arizona State. Interestingly enough, he played football. Last appeared in the game in 2016. He's listed as a wide receiver on that squad. First pitch, Smith takes down and in, 1-0. So he's listed as a wide receiver, but his one taste of game action, he actually threw a pass, and it was caught for a 40-yard gain. Interestingly enough, 1-0 from Ramirez. Stays high, 89 on the clock. That's his fastest pitch of the day, and the count is 2-0. Jack Smith is also the son of the head coach for Arizona State's baseball team. Chopper to Brandon Lewis. He waits for it, fields. A hard throw over to first. And McFarland stays on the bag to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left aboard. The Oaks back to bat in the bottom of the second inning. When we come back, Sam Shake and Andrew Lucas, Will Pickett's the 3 do. 1-0 Oaks. We'll be right back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Shortstop number 25, Sam.
We're back for the bottom of the second inning. Sam Shaken leads off for the Conejo Oaks. And Sam Shaken was one of many Conejo Oaks elected to participate in the CCL prospect game taking place in about a week or so. The first pitch is high to Shaken. It's 1-0. Sam Shaken definitely was chosen for his defensive abilities and his ability to put bat on ball. One of the most pro-ready Conejo Oaks as he takes the 1-0 pitch high. It's now 2-0. We'll get into who else made the team in just a moment. The 2-0 pitch to Shaken. A big swing and a high fly ball, but behind us and out of play. The position players who made the team, you might be able to guess a few of them. Chase Cockrell, Brandon Lewis, Jordan McFarland. Beyond that, Andrew Lucas gets the nod as the 2-1 pitch misses high, a hanging curveball. It's 3-1. Andrew Lucas actually ranked the 11th highest ceiling prospect in the California Collegiate League. Ultra impressive for a man who just graduated high school. The 3-1 to Shaken at the knees, and the count is full.
Now remember, the CCL prospect game is different this year. As of this year they changed the format to not stats, but players who are most MLB ready or who have high ceilings in the CCL. More on that here in a moment.
Full count. Shaken fights one off. 79-mile-an-hour heater. Fouled back behind us again.
So, you know, Pat and the coaches, Pat Burns, our CCL commissioner, and the coaches all sat around and said, how do we want to change this? Because there were players that may not have had the best summer, but were not making the CCL All-Star game in front of 30-plus scouts.
3-2 to Shaken. A high, deep drive, left field home run distance, but very, very foul. And the count remains 3-2.
But going back to the reformat, so, of course, the Oaks have always been dominant. Last year, Brandon Lewis had a home run. 2 years ago, Chad Spanberger had 2 home runs, including a grand slam. But they changed the format to the most MLB-ready players.
What an at-bat from Shaken. Takes the 3-2 pitch, a fastball well high. And he's on base, the second straight Caneo Oak to walk to lead off an inning.
And it's changed as well the way that the day works. So before the game, there will be a full prospect showcase. There's going to be scouts from all 30 Major League Baseball teams, independent league teams, colleges and universities for guys who are at JC levels and need to transfer. And they're going to showcase. Every player's going to get to showcase their skills.
Andrew Lucas ducks out of the way of a fastball that saws him off a little bit. It's 1-0.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely get there early if you plan on going out in Compton, California. These guys are going to be incredible. And the way that it's also going to work, the home team, which is on the left side of MLB Urban Youth Academy in the left dugout, consists of the Oaks, the Foresters, and the Barons. The rest of the CCL, the other 5 teams attending the prospect game, are going to be in another dugout. Head coach Solis is going to be an assistant coach for that team. Of course, Bill Pintard is the head coach for the Foresters, Barons, Oaks side of things.
The 1-0 toss to Lucas. A fastball settles in high. 2 balls, no strikes. As I mentioned, Andrew Lucas ranked the 11th best MLB-ready prospect in the CCL. Despite not even being an everyday starter for the Oaks, swings through the 2-0 pitch. And now a hitter's count at 2-1. Andrew Lucas, though, has been nothing short of phenomenal in his limited at-bats. He's had 58 plate appearances. He leads the Oaks in triples, a .261 average, and on base at .414, and he continues to hit. Damages a fastball into left field for a base hit. Runners on first and second base with nobody out in the inning.
I was talking to Coach Solis before the game about these prospects, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit surprised that Andrew Lucas got the nod. There's nothing against Andrew Lucas. He was the Ventura County High School Player of the Year. He's going to be absolutely dominant at a great CSUN baseball program. But the Oaks have had a lot of talent. The CCL has a lot of talent. I thought he would get lost in the shuffle, and Solis said no. This guy has perhaps the highest ceiling of the youngest guys in the CCL.
Will Pickett shows bunt, gets one down, but it rolls foul down the left side. 0-1.
And I don't know if that's a sacrifice attempt because Will Pickett's is 2 for 2 on the season. Successful bunts turned into base hits.
This is true, but he also does lead the Caneo Oaks with 4 sacrifice bunts on the season. 2 more than the closest Caneo Oak. So either way, he is very good at laying it down, whatever situation he's in. He's been hot lately, too, getting his average all the way up to 196. Next pitch, Shaken steals third base. He's in safely, and Andrew Lucas advances to second base on the throw, a delayed steal. So the delayed steal and the straight steal combined for a double steal.
Is that Shaken's first stolen base of the season? No, he only had one before. He was 1 for 1 before. So give him another one, but I don't remember that time he stole. Maybe it was a back end of a double steal.
Perhaps. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 in scoring position. Pickett's a shot down into right center field. Shaken scores. Andrew Lucas around third. He's going to score. The Oaks extend their lead. 3-0 Conejo here on the bottom of the second inning.
Will Pickett's really heating up here. Started out on Friday against the SoCal Catch last week, where he got his first base hit in almost 2 weeks, and since then he's been seeing the field well. He's been using the fundamentals of batting to find spots in the field where where fielders normally aren't. And that was the problem. He wasn't striking out very much, but he was hitting the ball right to fielders, whether it be on the infield for grounders or out in the outfield for pop-ups. But he's found that sweet spot on the bat and in the field, and it's paying dividends right now.
The 10th and 11th RBIs for Will Pickett's. And now back to the, actually not quite back to the top of the order, as Zach Kamenko in for his first at-bat. Takes the first pitch below the knees. 1 ball, no strikes. To the catcher who plays his collegiate baseball at UNLV, chopper third baseman, Briggs. 5, 4, 3, a double play. And the first 2 outs in the inning come on a double play from Zach Kamenko.
Textbook. Briggs, Fulkerson, Williams. Fulkerson got that ball very well. He turned on his left shoulder, and sometimes in the CCL, when second basemen who aren't used to picking up double plays like that, they don't turn as quickly as they should. Fulkerson turned as he caught the ball, so that gave all of his momentum to his left where he needed to toss that ball over to first base, and it was perfect.
Spears walked and scored a run in the first inning. This time takes 81 at the knees, 0-1. Mark Tyndall gets a sign and offers a curveball that stays high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 toss. A chopper behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyndall now only 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning, which looked to be destined to be a disaster, but the 5-4-3 double play to Kamenko got him out of it. 1-2, just a bit inside. And the count even at 2 now. Through 1 2/3 innings on the offensive side, the Oaks have managed to put up 3 runs as Michael Spears takes the next pitch high and the count is full. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Oaks. No runs, 2 hits for the visiting Arroyo Seco Saints. Full count pitch. Low, Michael Spears draws his second walk of the game, and that is the 3rd walk of the ball game total for Conejo. And Jonathan, you mentioned how important it was for the Oaks to be patient today, because yesterday they weren't so patient against the Foresters, and they were absolutely dissected on the offensive side.
They were swinging at bad pitches. Yes, the pitching velocity is a little bit different here in the mid-80s versus the mid-90s to begin the game, but the play still is the same. The location has not been changed up versus yesterday. There's still outside corners being called strikes. There's still high fastballs. There's still pitches in the dirt. The difference is the bat is not leaving the shoulder of most of these players on some of those bad pitches versus yesterday. I think they were a little trigger happy yesterday on a lot of high fastballs, and today they've settled down a little bit. They've come out of the gate swinging at good pitches, and right now it's working very well for them.
And it's hard not to be trigger happy when you're playing the #1 summer collegiate baseball team in the entire nation. Brandon Lewis, a base hit his first time up, in for a second plate appearance. Spears steals second base. Will he get there? Yes, he is there underneath the tag. The throw beat Spears. It was a beautiful throw by Kerner, but a brilliant slide gets him in there safely. And now extends his team lead to 10 stolen bases.
And only caught once, 10 for 11. How about Michael Spears showing off the wheels out there?
No balls and a strike to Lewis. Here's the toss. Settles down and away, 1-1. Let's go into Brandon Lewis for a second. It's hard not to just rave about this guy, and I'll tell you why. He leads in average, runs, hits, singles, doubles, home runs, RBIs, total bases, slugging percentage, OPS, as the 1-1 is inside, 2-1. So in short, Brandon Lewis is good at hitting baseballs. That's just what you have to take away from that.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. You really convinced me.
Brandon Lewis is the 5th-ranked prospect in the CCL. As the 2-1 misses, it's 3-1. How about the Conejo Oaks? offensively 3 of the 6 best MLB-ready prospects. The other 3 belong to the Santa Barbara Foresters.
2 of the best teams in the CCL, at least as of late.
3-1 settles away a walk, the 4th of the ball game for the Oaks. They continue to be patient. First and second now for the big hitter, Jordan McFarland.
And that fastball right there was a strike every single time yesterday. It's amazing the difference in strike zones. This is the same umpiring crew, though not the same home base umpire. The home plate umpire from yesterday is currently the second base umpire. The way that they changed the strike zone benefits the Oaks because they like taking those outside fastballs. And right there, you saw Brandon Lewis finally get a call he liked.
McFarland takes the first pitch off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. And how about McFarland in limited time with the Oaks this season? Remember, he had to come late because he was playing in the College World Series. Well, in 27 at-bats, he's been phenomenal. 370. First and second, 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch misses again, down and away, 2-0. McFarland started the year, I believe, with 7 straight singles. He was a singles machine, then added 2 doubles in a row. He has yet to draw a walk, but it doesn't matter when you're getting on base at such a high clips by swinging the bat. The next pitch also misses. McFarland way back, left field, and off the base of the wall. Spears will score. Brandon Lewis looks to be on his way to scoring. He does. And not quite a home run, but a loud 2 RBI double for McFarland extends the Conejo Oaks lead to 5-0. What a shot.
He thought it was a home run. We thought it was a home run. The Oaks dugout thought it was a home run. You talk about no wind here at Sparky Anderson, and that would have been 4 feet over the fence, but
4 feet. Try 40 feet over the fence.
Well, I don't know about that, but regardless, without that wind, that jet stream going into the valley from the hill, from left field to right field, that ball would have been absolutely smoldered out there over the left field fence. And it's hard being a right-handed power hitter here at George Sparky Anderson Field. The only guy that we've really seen consistently hit home runs out of left field is Brandon Lewis, and he possesses the most raw power on this team. Jordan McFarland, though, probably got the wind robbed him of a home run. We know that, but no matter what, that was absolutely smoked off the bat.
And talking about raw power, here's Chase Cockrell. First pitch low, 1 ball, no strikes. So anybody who worried about the Oaks offense yesterday after being stifled by the Foresters, stop worrying. 5-0, and we're only in the 2nd inning. 1-0 pitch. Cockrell hard down the left field line. Fair ball. McFarland will score. Cockrell into second base easily with a stand-up double. How about this? 6-0 Conejo.
This looks like the team that won 10 games in a row. You see why? Because they were averaging over 13 hits a game, over 8 runs a game in that game, 10-game winning streak. Sure, yesterday they were stifled by the Foresters, but at the end of the day, this team is so hard to beat, especially when the offense is firing on all cylinders, and right now it is. And already the Saints look like they're going to make a change. And I think they need to. They need to find a way to keep this game within reach, because at some point, a 6-0 lead turns into 8-0, then the 10-0. And with the Oaks offense rolling here through the first 2 innings, they need to find a way to keep the damage as minimal as possible, because the Saints offense can't come back absolutely 100%. They have great offensive resilience and power, but a 6-run lead early is going to be hard to come back to, and indeed we're going to see a pitching change.
So Mark Tyndall lasts only 1 2/3 innings. Will get you his final line, the new pitcher, when we come back. 6-0 Oaks on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning, Timothy Post out of Columbia relieves Mark Tyndall of his duties. Bart West steps on in there. Tyndall went 1 2/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, and a strikeout. We'll get you Post numbers in a second. Cockrell off of second base. First pitch to West, inside. Bart West had the big RBI double back in the first inning. Should have been a 2 RBI double, but McFarland was thrown out at the plate after hesitating, grounding third. Post has gone 14 2/3 and 11.04 ERA. Next pitch, a strike. 1-1. Bart West DHing today as McFarland is playing the field at first. The pitch. Off speed. In there. Called a strike. West doesn't agree. Respectfully turns his back. Asks the umpire where that pitch was. And now he digs back in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Post. Gets his sign. Sets and offers. In the dirt again. 2-2. And that must have been a really feel-good double for Chase Cockrell, who's used to launching the ball out of the yard, but he's been struggling of late. Always good to get back in the hit column with a hard-hit double. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, a man on second. The pitch inside, and the count is full.
Good take there from West. Out of the hand, it looked like it would clip the inside corner. He started to go around, but wisely held back, and that ball came really far inside. The Oaks are so far 3 for 3 and 3-2 counts. They've been walked all 3 times they faced this situation. We'll see if the tide turns or if it remains the same.
Full count to West. Off speed, he swings through it on a nasty curveball. And the Oaks, all 9 batters in the starting lineup, come up to hit in this inning. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors, only 1 runner left aboard. It's all Oaks so far, 6-0 through 2 full frames. Jerry Ramirez back on the hill with a big lead when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. In for the top of the 3rd inning, Jerry Ramirez back on the hill. His 3rd inning of work, and we got everything for you. Bobby Fulkerson, his first plate appearance. Ramirez has only given up 2 hits and has struck out 3 batters in his 2 frames. Fulkerson, the second baseman, undecided where he's going to go next year. A ground ball through the right side. Pickett's got his feet tumbled up, and he couldn't reach that ball on the backhand. So a leadoff base hit for Fulkerson. Puts the Saints in position to strike back and try and get back into the 6-0 ball game.
Great start here for the Saints. Fulkerson knew he was getting a first pitch fastball. Absolutely tattooed it over there to right. We've seen this before, though. The Saints started off the game with Cameron Briggs doing the same exact thing, and they couldn't bring him around. They just need to find a way to string together some hits.
Ramirez, his first offering, settles low. A ball and no strikes. Briggs, the UC Davis Aggie. He hit a base hit to the shortstop on the infield in the first inning. It was later thrown out on a 1-6 fielder's choice. Actually, it wasn't a fielder's choice. It was the pickoff. 1-0 inside corner, 1-1. With a runner on first, nobody out. Ramirez ready for the pitch. Takes a long pause, and here it is. Down and away on what looked to be a cutter. 2-1.
I just want to point out that Bobby Fulkerson at first base, by far and away, has the greatest mustache that I have seen by any player here in the CCL.
That's pretty impressive. 2-1, punched into right field, a base hit. Fulkerson will settle at second base, not test the arm of Spears out and right. 2-1, nobody out against Ramirez on Briggs' second base hit of the ballgame.
That's exactly what the Saints need to do, string together some hits. They had one hit in the first and one hit in the second, but nothing else doing here. Leadoff base runner by way of a single, followed up with the leadoff man in the lineup, Cameron Miggs, who's the fastest guy on this team, with a single. Now you're rolling. Now you get your best hitters in Drew Cowley and Nick Lakai is stepping in, and they can string together some hits, and all of a sudden it could be a ball game.
It certainly could. Ramirez, a deep breath. First pitch to Cowley, fouled back to the screen. He was on that fastball, but he just missed it. 0-1. Cowley struck out in the first inning. It was actually Ramirez's first strikeout of the ball game. 1 of 3 for Jerry. Cowley, Cal Pauly Pomona. 0-1. Ramirez's pitch. Away. Count even at 1. So it's grind time for Jerry Ramirez. Has to find a way to preserve this 6-0 lead. Get through 3, maybe 4 innings. He's looked very good and composed so far. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Ground ball up the middle. Pickett's fields it. The flip to Shaken. His relay over to first, not in time. A 4-6 fielder's choice, and now runners at the corners with an out.
I would argue that that is a very productive out because, yes, there's still a double play situation here, and the Oaks are very good at turning to, but with that being said, Nick Lakai was not a ground ball hitter. He's a guy who will pop one up and fly it out very far into the outfield, and that's a big deal, especially with a runner on third. Once you push that first run across, which is perhaps the hardest of the ball game, especially when you're down, things tend to get a little bit easier unless the Oaks extend this lead. If they don't, that first run will mean a lot here.
Ignacio, first pitch, 88 and low. 1 ball, no strikes. And he already equated how many pitches he saw in the first inning. He was hit by a pitch on the first pitch he saw from Ramirez, which was a hanging curveball that caught him on the elbow. 1-0 pitch, a high skyer into the parking lot. It's 1-1. There was a pretty persistent and strong breeze out to right field. However, it is a little less strong than it was earlier in the ballgame. Not my best vocabulary there. 1-1. Chopper through the middle. Shaken fields by himself. Tags second base. And over to first base in time for the unassisted 6-3 double play. Sam Shaken showing off what he can do on defense. And that's why he is one of the 25 best prospects in the CCL. No runs on 2 hits. No errors. And 2 runners left aboard. 6-0 Oaks. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Sam Shaken, his second at-bat of the ball game. Actually, his second plate appearance, only his first at-bat, as he walked and came around to score in his only plate appearance back in the second inning. Shaken was elected to the CCL prospect list, but I thought I'd talk about some snubs for the Oaks. And at the top of my snub list has to be Elijah Alexander. First pitch to Shake. A high fly ball, but very foul, 1-0. So Elijah Alexander, and I don't give this credit to many players that I see. I try to be very particular who I give this praise to. I think Elijah Alexander has the potential to be a five-tool baseball player, and that's very, very rare. Popped foul behind us, onto the roof right behind us, and now onto the street. No balls, 2 strikes. So I truly believe, in my opinion, that Alexander could be a five-tool player. We've seen his pop for sure. He had the longest home run of the season. Hits for average. He plays unbelievable defense. 0-2 pitch, a curveball called strike 3 to Shaken. Post in 2 batters faced. He has 2 strikeouts. And he gets Shaken looking right there to lead off the bottom of the third inning.
I talked to Bobby DeMuro yesterday, who's the founder of Baseball Census. And for those who know Baseball Census, they do most of the scouting for some of the players who go under the radar but still get drafted out of high school and college. And he told me that Elijah Alexander is the
first pitch is high, 1-0.
Okay, Andrew Lucas, the new batter. But he talked about Elijah Alexander. Not only is he the fastest guy in the CCL, but he thinks that he could be very successful at UTRGV, and also was surprised he wasn't a prospect.
Lucas smacks one foul, a ball and a strike.
Talk about 5 tools. If there was, they talk about a sixth sense. Elijah Alexander has that sixth sense. The sixth sense for understanding how to hit a baseball well and knowing where it will be when he plays center field. He runs routes so well.
0-1 tattooed into center field, drops and hits Smith in the chest. The center fielder recovers, fires back into the infield. And Andrew Lucas keeps on hitting. His second hit of the ball game, a base hit to center field. Anyway, here's where I was going from with that. I think Alexander's the biggest snub on the Oaks, no doubt about it. I thought I'd also give some Major League All-Star snubs. And not just this year. I'm going to give some of the greatest snubs in the history of the All-Star game. First pitch to Pickett's settles low, 1-0. And at the top of that list has to be Albert Pujols back in 2002. He made the All-Star team in every season he played except for 2011. He was injured that season. And then also in 2002. Why did he miss it in 2002? Well, I don't really know. Lucas takes off for second base, but Pickett fouls off the pitch. Off his foot and out of play, 1-1. Pickett's is 1 for 1 with a clutch base hit to center field. Pujols' numbers at the All-Star break in 2002. How about this? 21 home runs, 66 RBIs. Was his average bad? No. 294 as well. And still not an All-Star for one of the all-time greats. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Throw over to first. Lucas back safely. This year there was actually one of the greatest snubs of all time, in my opinion, and that's Blake Snell, the left-handed hurler for the All-Star team, or for the Tampa Bay Rays. And I see you giving me a face, Jonathan. I will prove you wrong in just a moment. 1-1, a big hanging curveball almost hits Pickett's in the front.
You don't know what I'm thinking.
I could see
I could be making a face, but still agree with you.
Well, we spend a lot of time together, Jonathan, so I think I know.
Darn it. I think we spent too much time together.
At the time that the All-Star team was put together, here are Blake Snell's numbers. A 2.09 ERA. Ranked first in the American League. 12 wins, tied for second in the American League. 2-1, rip and a miss, and the count is even at 2. 14 quality starts, tied for 3rd in the American League. So we're talking about a guy who's not just putting up great numbers, but he's also putting up great numbers in a bunch of innings pitched. Blake Snell should be an all-star, Jonathan.
There are too many good southpaws for the American League.
2-2, foul tipped. A pop fly out of play. I know you're thinking of Chris Sale.
I'm not only
big Red Sox guy, big time.
Yeah, but I'm also very objective when it comes to these things. But look, I mean, the pitching competition is above and beyond this season. So there are snubs all over the place when it comes to pitchers.
We're talking about a guy who leads the American League in ERA, not on the All-Star
He
team.
also plays for the Rays, and that has something to do with the fact he got snubbed.
Every team needs to be represented on the All-Star team. That's a rule. 2-2. Lucas goes to second base. He slides in safely.
And the Rays have C.J. Cron.
You're telling me Blake Snell doesn't deserve to be an All-Star?
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying there are a lot of guys that deserve to be All-Stars that don't get to be All-Stars.
Sure.
I agree that he's a phenomenal pitcher, but pitching is just too tight.
Well, this is just my take. I think he should be an All-Star. I'll give one more All-Star snub today. Full count, though. Andrew Lucas on second base. 6 runs on 7 hits for the Oaks. No runs, 4 hits for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Pickett has worked this count full. The pitch, and he fights off another one, backing out of play on the 89-mile-an-hour fastball. The count remains full. The last guy I'll give, Tim Salmon in 1995, played for the Angels. Never made an All-Star team in his whole career. But in 1995, at the break, 15 home runs, 42 RBIs, 291. A lot of times, All-Star games can be the defining moment in a player's career, as Pickett works an absolutely impressive walk, fights off a number of pitches, and now 2 on with an out for Zach Kamenko.
Great at-bat right there from Pickett. Fought off some tough pitches. He took a couple of tough pitches that many of these players we have seen throughout the season swing at, and that's why he's one of the best at on-base percentage. He doesn't have the highest batting average. He doesn't have the most power, but he has the highest batting IQ, I think, on this team, and it shows with how he finds ways on base.
Yeah, definitely always the right approach at the plate. First pitch into Kamenko, called a strike at 87 miles an hour. Kamenko is only at bat today, a 5-4-3 double play. That was last inning. No balls, a strike, the pitch. At the knees again, Kamenko takes 2 really splendid pitches and finds himself in an 0-2 hole now. Kamenko, one of the three-headed monster that the Oaks have behind the plate. The 0-2 pitch on its way. Ground ball to the shortstop. 6, flip to 4, on to 3. An inning-ending double play, and you can't blame Kamenko there. That ball was scorched off of his bat. Anyway, the Oaks don't get a run on 1 hit, no errors, and only 1 runner left on base. To the 4th inning we go. 6-0 Caneo on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
32, Cooper Williams.
Top of the fourth inning. The Oaks on top 6-0. And for the play-by-play in the fourth, fifth, and sixth frames, my wonderful broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkin.
Thank you, Jordan Brenner. You did a phenomenal job, as always, taking the lead on today's broadcast. Very excited for what the future holds for you. But for right now, we have more baseball to play. The Saints and the Oaks duking it out. The Oaks up 6-0. Cooper Williams leads things off. He takes a ball low and away for ball one. The cleanup man out of New Mexico State struck out swinging his first time up. Ramirez deals the 1-0. Two-hopper over to McFarland at first. And he'll take it himself for out number one. McFarland has been a force out there at first base, and it's been hard for Bart West to consistently get some time out there, but Coach Solis has done a good job balancing the two. Bart West in the DH spot today. McFarland has seen his fair share of DH opportunities with Bart West at first base, so the Oaks tandem of first basemen have been very successful. One away. Mitchell Kerner now stepping in from Emory out in Atlanta, Georgia. Flew out to center his first time up. It takes a looping curveball upstairs for ball one. So on Sunday, I gave our viewers a trivia question. 1-0 offering. Slapped up to right field, towing the line. Will it drop fair? No, it just goes a foot to the right, foul for strike one. Brad West was our winner of that contest. Congratulations to the West family once again. The prize, of course, is a Caneo Oaks raffle ticket, a free one. The Caneo Oaks, courtesy of the Amateur Baseball Development Group, are doing a raffle on July 24th. You have the opportunity to win a Mike Trout autographed bat, Mike Trout autographed baseball, Albert Pujols autographed baseball, a Mike Sosha autographed baseball, Caneo Oaks merchandise, and two $25 Visa gift cards, as well as some other miscellaneous prizes. Normally it's $5 per ticket and $20 for 5 tickets. However, I will pose a new trivia question. Today is the 1-1 slapped back out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kerner. And if you get the trivia question right, we are going to pick, if multiple people answer correctly, we will do a raffle for one of the correct answers, and that person will get a free raffle ticket courtesy of the ABDG organization. Curveball in the dirt, 2-2 now here to Kerner. So once again, if you get this trivia question right, and we'll give you the next 2 innings to do it. We're in the 4th inning. By the end of the 6th inning, so I guess 3 innings, including this full inning. By the end of that inning, the polls will close for the answer to this question. 2-2 up and in, 3-2 the count here to Kerner. Who in baseball history has most bases garnered in a game? Answer correctly, and we're going to give it multiple times throughout the next 3 innings for your chance to win a free Caneo Oaks raffle ticket. 3-2 slapped up to center field. Lucas really doesn't have to go anywhere, perhaps a couple steps backwards to make the catch for out number 2. 2 flyouts to center for Mitchell Kerner. Cooper Williams grounded out to first, and we have 2 outs here in the 4th inning for Jacob Jenkins. One of the few productive Saints batters on the day. He's 1 for 1 with a single. So once again, our trivia question. In baseball history, who was the most bases garnered in a game? That's by way of hits and walks. Give you the answer in the bottom of the 6th. Answer in our YouTube live chat for your chance to win an Oaks raffle ticket. 2 away. Jenkins steps in, slaps the first one up the middle and into center field for a single. He's seen 2 pitches today, and he has 2 base hits off of those 2 pitches, picking up Jerry Ramirez's fastball both times and effectively reaching base. 5th hit now on the day for the Saints. No runs, 5 hits for them. 6 runs on 7 hits for the Oaks. No errors on either side. It's been a pretty cleanly fielded game. Big thanks to all of our viewers for spending their Wednesday evening with us, no matter how you're watching or where you're watching. We appreciate you making us a part of your Wednesday plans. Peterson, high fly ball deep to center field. It goes over Lucas's head. That's good for extra bases. Coming around third and being waved on home is Jenkins, and he will score without a throw standing on second base. Tristan Peterson, who's now 1 for 2 with an RBI, the first one of the ball game for the Saints. The score is 6-1. Not a lot of fans in the stands, so there wasn't a lot of cheering, if you will, but I don't think the Saints care. Finally up on the board here. They took the first game against the Oaks back on June 20th by a score of 5-4. The Oaks were up 3-0. And then all of a sudden, Saints had a 4-run inning in the 6th inning, and then scored another run in the 8th. The Oaks were only able to muster one more run in the ball game and ended up losing 5-4 with a tying run at third base following the final out, which was a Drew Sims strikeout. First pitch taken for strike one on the outside corner. Christian Moya is the new pinch hitter in the spot of Jack Smith. The ASU Sun Devils' day is done. A fastball paints the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes here to Moya. And Jack Smith, actually, who went 0 for 1 on today, is the son of Arizona State baseball coach Tracy Smith. But he never played baseball at ASU. He was actually a football player on the team. Participated in a few games as a wide receiver. But his father wanted him to play baseball, so here he is on the summer team for the Saints. However, he has now been pitch hit for by the USC product. 0-2 pitch. Skied foul out of play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. The Oaks have Eric Moss striding out to the bullpen right now with bench coach Joey Garcia. We'll see if the Whitman College product gets a look here. Probably not this inning. I think Jerry will go at least one more. He's been so effective. Only 6 hits given up and 1 run. And with that big lead up on the board, and Ramirez looking for all intents and purposes very good. There's no reason to even think about pulling him. 0-2 pitch, another one slapped foul, back out of play. No balls and 2 strikes, the count remains. This is game number 2 of the only 2 weekday games the Oaks play this week. They're supposed to play the Northridge Bulls tomorrow, but the Bulls called yesterday morning and said that they're not going to make the trip out here to Thousand Oaks. So Thursday and Friday will be off. On Saturday, we'll be in Fullerton against the Orange County Riptide for what will be undoubtedly a huge game for playoff implications. That's game 1 of a home-and-home. The Oaks will be back on Sunday. Once again, foul tipped off the face mask of Kamenko. Strike 2 once again up on the board. 4 pitches, 2 taken for strikes, 2 fouled off. Pitch number 5 of the at-bat pending for Moya. 2 outs, 1 on, 1 around in the inning here for the Saints. Coming off of a rough 7-5 loss against the Orange County Riptide yesterday. And that dropped them back into the 7th spot in the CCL, where they were number 5 yesterday. 3 games back of the Oaks for the 4th and final spot. 0-2 pitch, a fastball up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. But the playoff race really heating up. Currently in the CCL standings, obviously the Foresters still in that top spot at 20-3 in the CCL. The Riptide are 12-8, and the Healdville Prune Packers are 10-7. The Oaks are 10-9. 1 full game back over the Prune Packers, and a game and a half behind the Orange County Riptide. 1-2 pitch. Sky to center field. Lucas, veering to his left, makes the catch for out number 3. And the top of the 4th has concluded. Nonetheless, though, a great inning of baseball for the Saints. They tally up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and they strand 2. Check that, actually only 1 on base. 4.5 have come, 3.5 actually have come and gone, my mistake. The Oaks still maintain a 6-1 lead, and with the top of the order due up, Spears, Lewis, and McFarland expect for this team to try and tack on some more runs on the other side of this break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Back here, bottom of the fourth. 6-1 to score. Michael Spears. Spears one to center field. Going back is Jenkins, and he makes the catch, reaching back at the warning track. Allowed out number one, and a great job by Jenkins, who just moved from right field to center field in this inning for out number one.
Talk about another snub for the CCL prospect, Em. I think Michael Spears, one of the livest bats in the league, puts clearly barrel to the baseball quite often, and also leads the Oaks in stolen bases, has quite a bit of speed.
Remember our trivia question? You have your chance to win a free raffle ticket as the first pitcher, Brandon Lewis, glides in there at the knees for strike one. Who has the most bases ever in a single baseball game? Chat with us in our YouTube live chat for a chance to win. 0-1 pitch, slider upstairs. Evens the count here to Brandon Lewis on the day. 1 for 1, a single and a walk. He had a run scored back in the second inning. Jordan, do you know, do you have any idea who has garnered the most bases in a single game in Major League Baseball history? 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, strike two.
It's got to be a guy who had 4 home runs in a game.
You are right about that stat.
Off the top of my mind, maybe Sean Green
That ball
against
bounces.
Milwaukee.
I can't. Do you want to give another guess? I can't give the answer. We're going to try to keep things as ambiguous as possible for our viewership. But you should definitely try again. 2-2 pitch, fouled back. 89 on the bat. Brandon Lewis kissing his bat.
I should definitely try again because that answer is wrong.
I don't know.
Well, why would I try again if I just nailed it on the
Because we can't reveal the answer until the 6th inning when our viewers participate. We can't give them the answer. But with that being said, you may or may not be right. I'm not sure. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball 3, and Lewis has worked his way back from a 1-2 count to a 3-2 count.
I'll give it some more thought, but as of now, I'll go with Sean
You're going to go with Sean Green?
Yeah.
If you agree with Jordan, feel free to say so in our YouTube live chat. If you think it's somebody different, and it very well may be, feel free to express it. Brandon Lewis takes ball 4 low on a 6-pitch at bat. The 1-out base runner. The second walk drawn from post, but the 6 Oaks walk drawn on the ball game. That's been a difference of the game here so far. Jordan McFarland stepping in. 1 for 2 today. Reached on fielder's choice back in the first and had a 2 RBI double back in the second. Also came around to score. He has been stellar. Number 6 prospect in the CCL. Comes back to bat. The first pitch, a beautiful breaking ball in the outside corner for strike one. Six runs, 7 hits for the Oaks. 1 run, 6 hits for the Saints. No errors on either side. Saints have been hitting the ball well, but haven't been stringing together those hits. 0-1 pitch, bounces in the dirt. Great backhand by Kerner behind the plate. Evens the count here to McFarland.
The only other person I can think of who has a 4 home run game is Josh Hamilton. So I guess it's either Sean Green or Josh Hamilton. I know there are more, and more that have happened recently, too.
1-1 through the diving glove of Fulkerson into the right field. Jordan McFarland takes that fastball opposite way. He's now 2 for 3 on the day. Brandon Lewis the second. The Oaks are rolling right now. They have 8 hits, 2 on base, and 1 out here in the inning. That's a pretty good guess, Jordan.
Hopefully it's the right guess.
You have until the bottom of the 6th inning, our lovely viewers, to answer the question, who has the most total bases in a baseball game. Jordan has given 2 guesses, Josh Hamilton and Sean Green. But I'm not going to say which one's right yet, or if either of those are right. First pitch to Cockrell, outside for ball 1. He is a double in the game, 1 for 2 with a strikeout as well.
Sean Green used to be my favorite player growing up.
He was definitely a phenomenal player back in the early 2000s, late 1990s.
One of the Dodgers I grew up rooting for.
1-0 pitch here from Post. Low. Kerner tried to frame it, but no dice. 2-0 here to Cockrell. Kerner tried to frame it. The Oaks have had very good catchers framing pitches this season. Drew Sims, we always talk about. Zach Kamiko's catching today's game. Vitt as well. 2-0 pitch in the dirt. Ball 3. Post has dealt 3 pitches to Cockrell. All 3 have been low. And it definitely seems like he's pitching around the number 2 prospect in the CCL. And how about this? The Oaks and the Foresters played yesterday. And yesterday in that game, we saw 7 of the top 8 prospects in the CCL in that game. 3-0 pitch, ball 4 outside, loads up the bases. Loose at third, McFarland at second, Cockrell at first, his first walk drawn of the ball game. Third walk given up by Post, second of the inning. And the Oaks now have the big bat. But Bart West stepping in, he has an RBI double already and a strikeout. Brad West, Ty Cobb is actually a very good guess. Very, very good, but again, I'm not going to reveal the answer. As there's a conversation with Kerner and Post up on the pitcher's mound. This is the second of 4 times these two teams play. We'll be in Pasadena next week for a game on Tuesday, and then in 2 weeks, once again at Jackie Robinson Field, a lovely little area out in Pasadena. Actually very, very close to the Rose Bowl. Right next to it, in fact. West, as I mentioned, 1 for 2 on the day, has the bases loaded and only 1 out. Double play depth here for the defense. A beautiful first pitch slider paints the inside corner for strike 1.
Bart West has looked so impressive at the plate today. A little extra pop in his swing. Usually he's a base hit hitter, but he has the power to get to the gaps today.
Thought about going, takes a pitch in the dirt to even the count. Post has been throwing quickly. However, all those quick pitches up in the 88, 89 mile an hour range have been balls. His fastballs between 85 and 87 have been more strikes. So perhaps he needs to focus more on location than on velocity, because that's where he's been more effective. He toes the rubber from the belt, the 1-1. Outside, West once again thought about it, but shows that eagle eye he possesses. 2 balls and a strike.
And if we're talking about MLB-ready prospects, Bart West is another guy. Maybe he doesn't crack the year, but he's a guy I think going forward could be on that top 30 prospect list.
He will. He has the ceiling, absolutely. I think it was just the 3 games at USC and the rest that he had to redshirt due to an injury that hurt him a little bit. 2-1 pitch, low and away, ball 3, and all 4 pitches. He's lifted the bat off of his shoulder all 4 times. He's waited, and it's paid dividends. 3 balls and a strike. He's figuring out where the zone is right now, and has done a great job making sure he does not cross the plane. 3 balls and a strike. Post calmly comes set from the belt. 3-1. Skied to left center field. Jenkins making a run for it, and he's well under it for out number 2. But tagging from third home is Brandon Lewis, and a sacrifice fly out worked to perfection. 2 RBIs now for Bart West, and the Oaks take a 7-1 commanding lead here in the 4th inning.
It's exactly what you want to do right there if you're Bart West. Don't try and do too much. Get the ball in the air and in the outfield. Get another run across the board. Well-deserved RBI for Bart West.
2 on still. Cockrell still at first. McFarland is still at second. But third base has been vacated now. The Oaks will take it because of that run. Bart West getting the job done there. And Sam Shaken digging in here. He's 0 for 1. Walked and struck out in 2 plate appearances. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. That fastball, or excuse me, that slider has been very good for Post. He's been starting most batters out with it, but couldn't find the inside corner right there, so we look like we will have a conversation on the mound. Not exactly sure if we should expect a pitching change. With 2 outs, I don't see a reason to pull Post yet.
Post has been pretty dang effective. Certainly more effective than Tyndall, who started the ball game.
Yeah, Tyndall gave up 6 hits. Post only 2, but a run. And, of course, right now for the Saints, when you're playing behind, still early-ish in this ballgame towards the middle part now, it's important to limit the damage. And right now with 2 outs and a previous situation where the base is loaded, only having 1 run come around to score with the hot Oaks offense is probably the best result you could have hoped for in that situation. But still some more work to be done. Post offers the 1-0 here to Shaken. Skied very far out of play, though, to even the count. The wind picked that one up and absolutely carried it over to the parking lot. 7 runs on 8 hits for the Oaks. They've also drawn 7 walks. That's the difference. Ramirez has yet to give up a walk on the Oaks side. He has hit a batter in Nick Lacayo, but it didn't matter. He was stranded at second base thereafter. Strikeouts 3 on both sides. But the hits, the Oaks have the 2-hit edge, and they also have the walk edge with 7. 1-1 pitch, a strike on the outside corner. Beautiful fastball at 88. That puts Post up, 1 ball and 2 strikes in the count. The Oaks had Eric Mall warming up previously. I would still expect Jerry Ramirez to be out there for 1 more inning, though don't quote me on that, because even though pitchers have great outings, head coach at least likes to give his arms an opportunity. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3, Shaken goes down. His second time striking out on the ballgame, his first time swinging. Post gets 3 on the game, and we're finally through the 4th inning. 1 hit, no errors. The Oaks leave a pair on base at first and second. Don't forget about our trivia question. Only 2 more innings to answer. Who has the most bases garnered in a single baseball game? Jerry Ramirez back out there. When we come back, 7-1 the score. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Bobby Fulkerson leads things off here in the top of the 5th and swings and misses for strike 1 at a beautiful pitch in the dirt by Jerry Ramirez. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday evening. He's Jordan Brenner. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, our incredible producer on site today. Sean McKinnon, 0-1 pitch, misses inside, 1 ball and a strike. Bobby Fulkerson is 1 for 1 on the day with a single, though he was stranded at third base back in the 3rd inning. The Oaks clinging to a 7-1 lead. I wouldn't say clinging, more like commanding a 7-1 lead as that fastball low and away. The Saints dugout didn't like the strike called, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the umpire made a look at the Saints dugout. We've seen warnings a lot throughout the season, so these teams have to be careful. 1-2, skied to center field. Running in on it is Lucas, but it'll drop just in front of him for a single. Bobby Fulkerson now 2 for 2 on the game. Leads the Saints half of the 5th inning with a single. And they're really not being outplayed too much by the Oaks. The difference in the ballgame has been those walks. They now have 7 hits to the Oaks' 8. And again, runners left on base. 5 total for the Saints, only 6 for the Oaks. The walks have made all of the difference, and that was our key to the game coming into today, was the Oaks had to find a way to draw walks, and they have so far. First pitch to Cameron Briggs, back at the top of the order. Over to Shaken to pick it for one. The relay is off base as McFarland had to jump off of the first base bag. Nonetheless, though, it'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice, retiring Fulkerson. And Cameron Briggs is on first base by way of that fielder's choice. Sam Shaken has been stellar over there at short. I think he's upset with that one error he had yesterday. And he has been aggressive. His jumps have been great. And so far, very effective at shortstop. Drew Cowley now steps in 0 for 2, reached on a 4-6 fielder's choice, and struck out in his only 2 plate appearances. Ramirez offers the first pitch to him, up and away for ball 1. Eric Moss still warming up. Aiden Dolan also out there stretching for the Oaks. It looks like Bailey Holbrook jogging out there to get some tosses, though we have seen often the Oaks will toss guys out there in the bullpen, but never bring them in. 1-0 pitch, slapped right to Shaken at short. And he's going to double off Briggs, and this inning, or half inning, I should say, is over. Sam Shaken getting all the outs himself. A 6-4, a line out to 6, and then a tag out. So give him an L6 unassisted 6 on double play on that play, not something you see very often. No runs hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 4.5 come and gone. The Oaks, though, up 7-1 on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Andrew Lucas, just named a CCL prospect. Headed to the CCL prospect game next week. Leads things off. He's 2 for 2 today, showing you why he does deserve a spot in the CCL prospect game. He is something special, but takes a changeup over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Post is back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. Lucas has 2 stolen bases on the day and 2 singles. As Post quickly deals the 0-1. Slider missing low and inside to even the count here to Lucas. Lucas was named the Ventura County High School Player of the Year when he absolutely tore up the CIF Southern section with the Camarillo High School Scorpions. 1-1 offering, low and away, 2-1 the count. And CSUN is very excited to have this young slugger. He is just phenomenal. As of late, especially, he's been seeing the field so well and found the barrel of the bat on that ball more often than not. Post offering the 2-1. That one a strike on the outside corner to even the count. I would say that outside strike call has been a little bit more inconsistent than yesterday. Yesterday, that outside pitch was called a strike more often than not. So far today, it's been split. 2-2, waved at and fouled back. Great slider, but Lucas able to get a piece of it. You're in the 5th inning. Now in the bottom of the 5th inning. Only one more inning left until we reveal our question of the day. Who has the most bases garnered in a single baseball game? We have not gotten a lot of responses, unlike our Sunday trivia question, so why not give it a shot? You have the chance to win a free raffle ticket. You have nothing to lose. 2-2 pitch popped up down the right field line, but out of play. Even if your baseball knowledge isn't necessarily the best, it doesn't hurt. It's always fun for us to hear from our viewers, friend or foe, whether you're a Saints fan, an Oaks fan, or just a fan of the game of baseball. Post offers the 2-2 here to Lucas. Takes it low, ball 3 after fighting off 2 tough fastballs.
What a great take from Lucas right there. He's always been a guy who loves to swing the bat, but over the summer I've seen that batting eye just improve every time he goes up to the plate.
Exactly what I was alluding to. And takes the 3-1 pitch, or 3-2 pitch, low for ball 4. And once again, the Oaks get a leadoff base runner on by way of the walk, the third time they've done so in the first 5 innings. 8 walks now drawn on the game, 4 by Tyndall and 4 by Post. And the speedy Andrew Lucas over at first base. Will Pickett, who's 1 for 1 today, a single with 2 RBIs and a walk, stepping in. Pickett's a returner with the Oaks. Son of Bill Pickett's the head coach at L.A. Pierce Junior College. Takes a strike at 92. Fastest pitch we've seen on the day from Post. Strike 1 for Pickett's, but after playing 2 years at Pierce Junior College for his father, got a great scholarship to Cal State Bakersfield, who's moving out of the Big West to the Mountain West. Much more competitive conference. 0-1 pitch, a strike at the knees, strike 2 here to Pickett's. So he's going to see a lot of great baseball talent, and Pickett's has the ability to really develop something for himself with the way that he manufactures base runners. Not a hard ball hitter. Has shown inconsistency at time, but his on-base percentage really speaks volumes. Post ahead 0-2 deals, a slider. Jammed him, but it fouled back out of play. No damage done on either side, and the count remains the same. Now the Oaks have sat Eric Ma, at least for the time being, and they have Nick Ringcover playing catch with Aiden Dolan. So we've seen 4 Oaks pitchers currently in the bullpen, but have yet to have a clue of who's going to be brought in. And Ramirez may still very well go out for that 6th inning. The Oaks have a couple of big games coming up over the weekend, so they want to limit their bullpen use as much as possible. 0-2, a hit and run is on, and that goes through into left field. Lucas is going to round second, go to third, and he stands up on third. You talk about the best executed hit and run we've seen from the Oaks this season. That right there, folks, was it. Lucas was off to the races. Pickett's a slow roller into left field, and Lucas absolutely tore up the base path on his way to third base. Runners at the corners.
What made that hit and run so successful is the fact that when Andrew Lucas took off from first base and tried to steal second base, he actually drew the shortstop over to second base, and that opened up the hole for Pickett's hit. And Lucas never stopped hustling. He was running, he was sprinting the whole way through, and didn't even need to slide into third base to get there.
7 runs, 9 hits, and out for the Oaks. 1 run, 7 hits for the Saints in their second year in the CCL. It used to be a tandem of the Arroyo Seco Saints and the Arroyo Seco Sentinels. Both those teams were in the Sunset Baseball League, and when they got their bid, everybody thought that the Sentinels would be the team to come in the CCL, but no, it was the Saints, and they were 1 game out of the final playoff spot behind the Oaks last season. Really made their mark their inaugural season in the CCL. Right now, though, in the 7th spot. First pitch is Zach Kamiko, whipped in there, but upstairs for ball 1. Kamiko 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded into a pair of double plays. And this is a double play situation right now if Post can't get a strikeout. Middle infield playing in that depth. Runners at the corners, nobody out. 1-0 offering. Crack down the third base line, but foul. Count is even here to Kamiko. Zach, one of the trio of phenomenal Oak catchers. Not typically a 9-hole hitter by nature of his game, but Solis likes to put some of the team's best contact hitters in that 9th spot for reasons such as this. When players ahead get on, these 9-hole hitters can get him around, and Kamiko has the talent to do that game in and game out. Fastball, though, misses upstairs. He's actually now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
And they also set the table for the runners at the top of the lineup. Michael Spears, Brandon Lewis, those guys, the first two hitters, those are big RBI guys. And having Kamiko or anybody occupying the 9 hole on base is a big deal.
Takes a beautiful slider in there for strike one. Kind of moved backwards as if he thought that slider was coming inside. But a late break put it over the strike zone. 2-1 the count. Post, not even checking the runners, offers the 2-1. Skied down the right field line, but out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Zach Kamenko. Big game for the Oaks. Half a game back of Healdsburg. Game and a half back of the Orange County Riptide. And what will be a 3 total results over the weekend. The Oaks had an 8-8 game called going into extra innings against the Orange County Riptide a week and a half ago here at Sparky Anderson. So that game will have to be played out on Sunday. That starts at 11. Game number 2 of the day will be at 12 or 30 minutes past. Another hit and run. One hopper to third. Cowley over to first. Lucas is going to go home. The throw is not in time. That was a gutsy play by Andrew Lucas, but it pays off. The score is 8-1 on the RBI ground out by Zach Kamenko. Will Pickett's the second base.
Andrew Lucas is an electrifying player who just made a very exciting play. He made a 7-1 ball game into riveting, show-stopping, heart-stopping stuff right there. I don't even know how to describe it. What a play. The throw actually beat Andrew Lucas to the plate, but he was able to sneak in his right hand to tap the plate before Kerner was able to tag him.
I think his game speaks for itself as to why he was selected to the prospect game. Back to the top of the order. Michael Spears steps in. Shallow popper out to right. Goes foul for strike one. He's 0 for 1 today. A pair of walks, a pair of runs scored, and a fly to center in the number 1 spot. The Oaks have some speed out there at second base in the form of Will Pickett's only 1 out.
Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate the help.
That was just such a heads-up play. When Lucas started running after the ball left Cowley's hands at third base, everybody kind of held their breath for a second, but
I did.
Perhaps that's why your heart stopped, as you said. 0-1 pitch, though, glides low and away to even the count. One's across the board, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, and 1 on. 8-1 the score. The bottom of the Oaks lineup has been incredibly effective. Lucas in the 7th spot is 2 for 2, reached base 3 times. Will Pickett's in the 8th spot is 2 for 2. He's reached base 3 times. Kamenko just got an RBI. 1-1, a slider, drops low and away. 2 balls and a strike here to the Ole Miss Rebel. Spears is looking to play some more consistent time for Ole Miss coming up this season, and I think he will. Played 24 games this past season with the Rebels. Batted 182. Post steps off. And Spears really struggled for the beginning part of the season. He went 0 for 18 when he joined this team in his first 18 at-bats. But all of a sudden, Chase Cockrell, his fellow Ole Miss teammate, joins the team, and Spears broke out. Is now one of the most effective batters on this team. Fouls that one off behind the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jordan Brenner 31. Our producer is at McKinnon_Sean, and I'm at Johnny Riff on Twitter. Or chat with us in our YouTube live chat. Friend or foe, no matter who you're a fan of, we love to hear what our viewers have to say. Questions, comments, concerns. We appreciate your input. 2-2 pitch. Runs outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now here to Michael Spears. The Oaks have been walked 5 times on 3 and 2 counts in 5 opportunities. We'll see here if Spears, who's walked twice, one by way of a 3-2 count, waves at a pitch maybe that he likes or takes a pitch that Post releases outside of the strike zone. Who knows? We're about to find out, though. Spears stepped out for time really quickly, but back in. Post toes the rubber. Comes set at the stretch. Runner on second, 1 out, payoff pitch. Taken low and inside, ball 4. Michael Spears has been walked for his 3rd time in 4 plate appearances. He's still 0 for 1, but it doesn't matter. The eye test shows you he's being effective. And now Brandon Lewis, who's 1 for 1 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a single will step in. But I have a feeling Post's day is about to conclude.
Yeah, he did a pretty reasonable job out of the bullpen. He entered the game. It wasn't pretty. It was 6-1 in favor of the Oaks, and his job was to, bridge the gap between the middle of the game to the latter half of the game, and I think he did a pretty good job.
Only 4 hits and 2 runs under his belt, but 5 big walks. And as a coach, you never want to see that from your pitcher, giving up free base runners, especially, and for all intents and purposes for the Saints to keep their playoffs hopes alive, a must-win ball game, and no post is going to stay out there.
Wow.
This is a development league. These coaches are out there to coach these players into learning from their mistakes. Yes, winning is a big integral part of all of that. But at the end of the day, these guys are here to get better and to bring the skills that they have honed over the summer back to the respective universities. And for Post, this is a situation that he may face at the collegiate level during the regular season multiple times. And to have to deal with it here in the CCL, and once he can build the confidence and the mindset to get out of a situation like this, it'll be more effective over his college season. But first, that pitch slapped down the left field line, but foul for strike 1 to Brandon Lewis. And Lewis is itching for another home run. He had 3 home runs in 4 days. He had the only RBIs of the game yesterday in a 2-run shot down the left field. Try to recreate that here. Post toeing the rubber, now he steps off. The approach against Lewis, I'm not exactly sure. I was never a talented baseball player, much less a pitcher, so I don't even know what these pitchers think when they see Brandon Lewis stepping into the right-handed batter's box. 0-1 offering. Slider, very high to shallow right field. Briggs and Williams coming in for it, and Briggs makes the catch. No! He drops it in foul territory. Pickett's tried to play it like it was a live ball and started jogging down the third, but the umpire looked at him and shook his head. That's a break right there for Brandon Lewis. Almost looked like what happened in the Astros game that allowed the Astros to walk off last night.
A little bit like it, just in the defensive error aspect of it.
Right, in the terms of unusual misses, if you
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And answering your question, what do pitchers think when they see Brandon Lewis in the batter's box? They see pain. That's what they see. They see inflated ERAs.
He has definitely hurt a lot of ERAs and a lot of egos throughout this season. Currently batting .349, which leads the team. 0-2 pitch, though, once again from Post. High hopper down the third base line, and even his ground balls are hit so hard, and he's not even a ground ball hitter. He's probably only grounded out a handful of times this season. But you look at the power that he slaps that ball down on the ground as a fielder. As an infielder, you have to be very careful and play off of that, because that could very easily either go over your head on a bounce or be scorched into the glove and mishandled.
And it can especially go over your head on this infield here at Cal Lutheran.
A very wacky infield grass has plagued some of the middle infielders over the season. 0-2 pitch, belts him on the left shoulder. Shakes it off, though, and he jogs over to first. The second time we've seen a hit batter. The first on the Oak side today. And that loads up the bases, and the guy you don't want to have to face with the bases loaded, Jordan McFarland stepping in. So far, McFarland today, 2 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice. 2 RBI double, that was a hair shy of a home run. And a single in the fourth, and now Post's day is going to be done. We'll give you his final line and the new pitcher when we come back. But first, a break. Runners on all bases, first, second, and third, all loaded up. 8-1 the score and only 1 out. We'll be right back for the conclusion of the bottom of the fifth right after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. New pitcher on the mound is Jonathan Russamano from Corbin University in Salem, Oregon. Timothy Post's day has concluded. He went 4 1/3 innings. He had 4 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. For all intents and purposes, until this inning, he was very good, but he leaves the bases loaded here to the new pitcher, Russamano. Over at first is Brandon Lewis. First pitch, bounces in dirt for ball 1. Michael Spears at second, and Will Pickett's at third. Lewis was the catalyst of a hit by a pitch in the last at-bat. And Jordan McFarland took that ball low for ball 1. Is 2 for 3 on the day.
He was robbed of a home run back in the second inning, Jonathan. Hopefully we can see a grand slammer right here.
1-0 pitch, also low, ball 2. And when you say robbed, Jordan, he was robbed by the wind, not by a baseball player.
This is true.
Just in case you're just tuning in, we didn't want to mislead you there. 8 runs, 9 hits for the Oaks, 1 run, 7 hits, and an error now for the Saints. That error was the dropped foul ball by the right fielder, Cameron Briggs. 2-0 pitch, a curveball, missing up and away. Ball 3, and McFarland. Cockrell waiting on deck, that is 1 ball away from walking in an RBI, and I don't think he cares how he does it, but
this is a green light situation.
Absolutely. 3-0. Swing at a fastball if you can. The offering. A fastball. He takes it over the heart of the plate at 83. And Jordan McFarland, I think, is the only CCL player we've seen who takes 3-0 counts. Every other player that we've seen, and Jordan, I told you this off the air before the season even started, expect to see basically every batter swing at 3-0 counts. McFarland is the exception to that rule. 3-1 in. High and deep to left field. The bases are all juice. Will it go out? It does. That's a grand slam for Jordan McFarland. 12-1 the score here for the Oaks. Wow.
Well, Jordan, I expect a text later on saying thank you because I'm the one who called that. I'm the one who caused that. Of course, I'm kidding, but that was an unbelievable shot for McFarland. And how about this? Another Caneo Oak on cycle watch. Usually it's Brandon Lewis or Chase Cockrell or Elijah Alexander. Well, welcome Jordan McFarland to that club.
Throws deep to right center field. That one will probably drop at the wall. No! A very quiet home run for Chase Cockrell. The Oaks go back-to-back. Call them the Baum brothers. Jordan McFarland and Chase Cockrell. The Oaks lead 13-1.
The second time the Oaks have gone back-to-back this year, and Chase Cockrell is a part of both of those feats. Chase Cockrell, it's safe to say he's out of his slump now.
The Oaks are absolutely putting the hurt on, and all of a sudden, 3 pitches in here for Russamano. There's already a meeting. He's getting pulled. Jonathan Russamano's day after 3 pitches, 2 hits, 2 earned runs is over. We're going to take a break, give you the new pitcher. When we come back, the Oaks take a commanding 13-1 lead on a grand slam and a solo shot by Chase Cockrell and Jordan McFarland. We will be right back. This is an exciting display of offense, everybody. Don't go anywhere. The Oaks are hungry for some runs, and so far they've been feeding that hunger courtesy of Andrew Lucas, who has a run scored, Will Pickett, who has a run scored, and then a grand slam by Jordan McFarland and a home run by Chase Cockrell to put the Oaks up 13-1. New pitcher on the mound, Brian McConnell, who's undecided where he will attend university in the fall, facing Bart West. Deals a pitch at the knees for strike one. Jonathan Rosamano went no recorded innings. In 3 pitches, he gave 2 hits and 2 home runs. Only 2 runs, though, were earned of the 5 that came around under his command. But now it's Mitchell's turn. The sidearmer deals a fastball way outside. In limited action this season, only 1 inning. He has a 9 ERA. No strikeouts, no walks. And he has a tall task here to continue to stifle this Oaks offense. Here with the 8th batter up in the inning in Bart West. He's 1 for 2. 2 RBIs, a sacrifice, a double, and a strikeout to his day. Once again, our trivia question of the day. Who has the most bases garnered in a game? We'll give the answer here in a moment. 1-1 pitch glides in there for strike 2. We're going to do it a little bit early. We're going to do it at the top of the 6th inning. So if you can, or if you want to, go ahead and answer in our YouTube chat. Just give a name. It doesn't matter who it is. But if you get it correctly, you'll have the chance to win a free raffle ticket for some Angels gear. You have to be present to pick it up. If you have a player on the team, we can leave it with them or find a way to ship it out to you free of charge, of course. 1 ball, 2 strikes, though. McConnell offers. I would foul it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count remains here. Brian McConnell, 6'5", 180 pounds. Redshirt junior. Undecided where he will go in the fall. But currently trying to make a name for himself in the CCL, though in limited action. 1-2 pitch to West. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now from the Submarine side armor. Resides in Altadena, California. In high school, he pitched 136.1 innings at a 1.28 career ERA with 121 strikeouts. He was to 2015 as that one has popped back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains here to West. In 2015, he was named the Pasadena Star News Player of the Year out of high school. But since has not done too much in his college career, looking for a place to call home in the fall. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bart West. McConnell toes the rubber from the stretch and offers. Outside, West thought about it, wisely held back, and once again, a 3-2 count for the Oaks. They've walked all 6 times that they faced 3-2 counts today. We'll see here if they make it 7 for 7 or if McConnell can break that streak. 13 runs, 11 hits for the Oaks, 1 run, 7 hits for the Saints. They also have an error. Payoff pitch here from McConnell. West slaps it up the middle, but on the 1-hop backhanded by Fulkerson at second. The throw is low, but the extension by Williams beats West by a step. And that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-3 for those keeping score at home. Puts 2 outs up on the board. Sam Shaken now digging in. And he and Zach Kamiko are the only 2 Oaks batters to have yet to reach base today. Well, actually, check that. Shaken has walked. So Zach Kamiko in the 9th spot is the only Oaks batter to not reach base. But he will have more opportunities later in this game. Shaken, though, looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And a walk with a run scored back in the 2nd. Shout out to his father, John, his uncle, Bill. The Shaken's family, always big supporters of Oaks baseball. First pitch low for ball 1.
And Jonathan, this is the 2nd time today that all 9 hitters in the Oaks lineup have come up to the plate to hit. When you do that, there's a good chance you're going to put up a lot of runs, and that's exactly what they've done today.
Shaken can keep this inning alive. The Oaks will have batted around. 1-0 pitch. Line drive to right field. Briggs, though, under it. And continues his trot to the dugout. Finally, the brutal bottom of the 5th inning is over, at least on the Saints side of things. 6 big runs on only 3 hits. 2 were home runs. No errors. The Oaks leave nobody on base. It was an exciting 5th inning, but we'll have to leave it there. Top of the 6th after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. 13-1 the score. Don't go anywhere. New pitcher on the mound to begin the top of the 6th inning as we bring you back. Eric Ma from Whitman College will lead things here for the Oaks from the mound. That ends Jerry Ramirez's day. A stellar start for him. 5 big innings of work, only 7 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Jerry did exactly what was needed of him in the Oaks. Have a 13-1 lead. First pitch from Ma to Nick Lacayo, taken on the inside corner for strike 1. The returning Whitman College product, Eric Ma, in his 9th appearance now, has a 3.0 ERA in 15 innings of work. 15 strikeouts and 7 walks. Deals the 0-1 pitch on the outside corner for strike 2, and that splitter is the pitch to watch here today, folks. He deals it so effectively, and he's been very hard to hit all season long. Lacayo is 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch and then also grounded into a 6-3 double play. 0-2 pitch at the knees, strike 3. And Kamenko is about to throw down to Tanner Wright, who came into the game for Brandon Lewis over at third, but Wright said, you know what, just throw it back to Ma. We don't need to whip one around the bases. Let's try to keep this game going quicker now. First strikeout on the day for Ma. 4th strikeout on the day for the Oaks. 13 runs, 11 hits for them. Cooper Williams stepping in now as he takes a ball low for ball 1. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a groundout to his day. Top of the 6th inning here, and what's been a very long ball game. 2 hours and 6 minutes in so far. 1-0 pitch upstairs, ball 2. The Oaks have already had 2 games called due to darkness so far this season. They played 1 out against the Catch.
There's no way they call this game, Jonathan.
No, if the score stays the same and the sun begins to go down, whatever the score is at the end of the game will be the final result. 2-0 pitch, though, up and away, ball 3. And after striking out Lacayo in 3 straight pitches, Cooper Williams has taken a 3-0 count here from Eric Ma. That pitch misses low. The fastball couldn't find the zone, ball 4. And the Saints draw their first walk of the ball game by way of a 4-pitch walk. Cooper Williams standing at first base and Mitch Kerner stepping in. So as I mentioned throughout the middle innings here, we had a viewer raffle giveaway, if you will, and I'm a little disappointed, I have to say, in our viewers' lack of, no, I'm kidding, I don't really care. Everybody is doing their whatever they need to do, and I honestly don't mind that there has not been a lot of interaction, if you will, as the first pitch is a strike to Kerner, but Williams on the catcher's indifference advancement. However, thank you to Brad West for chiming in. Ty Cobb is a very good guess. But Jordan Brenner, you guessed Sean Green, and you were correct. Sean Green, back in May 23rd, 2002, garnered 19 bases in a baseball game, which is the most in Major League Baseball history. The 0-1 pitch to Kerner, skied into very shallow center field. Tanner Wright out of third base, calling for it and makes the catch, securing it for out number 2. The Los Angeles Dodgers right fielder Sean Green was batting cleanup in Milwaukee on that amazing day on May 23rd. He racked up 19 total bases at Miller Field. He had 6 hits, 6 runs, 7 RBIs, and 4 home runs in a 16-3 rout. The Dodgers absolutely destroyed the Milwaukee Brewers in that ball game, and Sean Green etched his name in the record books for the most bases garnered in a baseball game. First pitch to Jacob Jenkins taken inside for ball 1. He's 2 for 2 today, 2 singles, a run scored in the 4th. But there'll be plenty more opportunities up until July 24th for our fans to win raffle tickets, so don't worry if you still want one. 1-0 pitch. 2-hopper back to the mound. Ma chases it down, fires it over to first, and out number 3 is up on the board. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man stranded on base. Cooper Williams over at second has to trot back to the dugout. 5.5 have come and gone. The Oaks up 13-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. When we come back, Shaken, Lucas, and Pickett's due up on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
The Oaks would like to thank our host families.
Back here for the bottom of the 6th inning, Jordan Brenner, myself, Jonathan Rifkind, our producer extraordinaire, Sean McKinnon, happy to be with you here in the latter part of this ball game. Sun beginning to set, the temperature beginning to cool. The Caneo Oaks offense has yet to let up. They're up 13-1, and Andrew Lucas, who is perhaps our Oaks player of the game so far today, just because of how he's been wrecking that baseball over the field. He's 2 for 2, but he's reached base 3 times.
I think Jordan McFarland would
Disagree,
contest that.
of course, but I think that Andrew Lucas knows that he had something to prove and has so far absolutely exceeded expectations. Swings and misses on a high fastball, no balls and 2 strikes to him. McConnell back on the mound. He was put in a tough spot with 2 outs. He had to retire Bart West and Sam Shaken. He did both. The Oaks batted all 9 in the last inning. The 0-2 pitch. Slider, skied out of play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. It's a pretty easy week for the Oaks, but after the home and home on Sunday, the team has a day off on Monday. And then things pick up a little bit. On Tuesday, we'll be in Pasadena a week from today, or actually a week from yesterday, when the Oaks play the Saints. That'll be a 6:05 start. Then the prospect game's on Wednesday. Then the Oaks host the Saints on Thursday. Then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Oaks are gone. They play San Luis Obispo up in San Luis Obispo on Friday the 20th, and Santa Barbara on the 21st and the 22nd, both games away. That one popped up, over to second base. Fulkerson calls for it. Toes on the outfield grass, makes the catch for out number 1. But the Oaks are indeed very happy about these 2 games off, especially after, or these 2 days off, I should say, especially after what was a long week last week and what will be a long week next week. And after a long baseball game against the Foresters yesterday, where they dropped their first game in 11 games, 7-2, trying to pick up that streak once again. First pitch to Will Pickett's, misses outside for ball 1. Pickett's on the game, is 2 for 2. 2 RBI single in the second, a walk in the third, and a single back in the fifth. Ended up scoring thereafter. Very quiet day here at the ballpark as McConnell comes set. Pearson fires the 1-0 offering. Pickett's gets a handle on it, but goes backwards to even the count. "13 runs, 11 hits for the Oaks. 1 run, 7 hits, and an error for the Saints. Saints out of Jackie Robinson Field out in Pasadena. Neighbors to the Rose Bowl. 1-1 pitch here. Skied high to left center field, though, a lot under it, so out of left field, Nick Lakaya has enough time to make the catch for out number 2. Pickett is retired for the first time today. He's had a great day, but Zach Kamiko now stepping in. He's the only Oak to have yet to reach base today. Does have an RBI, though. 0 for 3, 2 double plays and a ground out. But on that ground out, Andrew Lucas made a heads-up play from third home and ended up scoring.
Kamiko was robbed of a base hit in the third. That was his second double play of the ball game, but even though he hasn't reached base, he's hit the ball very, very hard.
First pitch to Kamiko, misses outside for ball 1. McConnell trying to put the Oaks down 1-2-3 the first time. That would have happened all game long if he retires Kamiko here. Kamiko slaps that one down over the heart of the plate for foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. The golden sunshine still illuminating the outfield, but the infield almost covered in full shadow now. The days are getting shorter. But baseball still plays on. McConnell takes a breath and offers the 1-1. Hanging slider at 66, right over the heart of the plate, and Kamiko didn't even lift the bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Brian McConnell Sidearm whips the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the pitch in the dirt. The Oaks go 1-2-3 for the first time all game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. The first strikeout from McConnell has been tallied now. And we're through 6 innings. 13-1, the Oaks lead on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back.
Number 8, Tristan Peterson.
David Appleby, the Michigan Wolverine, takes the mound here to start off the 7th inning. And for play-by-play of the 7th, 8th, and 9th with the Oaks up 13-1, my broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner.
Thank you, Jonathan. Eric Ma sets at the belt. First pitch to Tristan Peterson. A fastball away at 89 miles an hour. David Appleby, the Michigan Wolverine, on the season, 9 appearances. As the 1-0 pitch comes in low, 2-0. Appleby, 14 2/3 innings, an ERA at 6.13. The 2-0 pitch, well outside and in the dirt. Past the catcher, Kamenko, it's 3-0. Eric Ma went 1 inning. He didn't give up a hit or a run. He walked a batter and also struck out 1. 3-0 from Appleby. The kick and the offering. Outside for a walk. Peterson aboard for his 2nd time today. And he leads off the top of the 7th inning with a walk.
Yeah, Appleby has been struggling to find the zone here as of late with the Oaks. But he's been pitching pretty consistently, meaning he's been seeing a lot of action out of the bullpen in consistent games, and that's because he has been developing his fastball. He's put on some velocity. He's finding his spots a little bit better.
Appleby's first pitch scrapes the inside corner, 0-1. New hitter. We didn't get a name on this new hitter.
Yeah, it was a pinch hitter for Jack Smith. He's on the roster.
And the 0-1 pitch settles away, 1-1.
We're going to do some investigating here and try to get you the name here in just a moment.
Nick Ringcover out in the bullpen throwing to Drew Sims. Maybe coming in for a few innings of work. 1-1 pitch from Appleby. 87, a big sinker ends up away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Shout out to Lee and Victoria Appleby. Active on the stream today. Always appreciate the support from all of our families involved with the Kineo Oaks. Wouldn't be possible what we do without you. 2-1, a scorcher, very foul. Home run distance, but about 50 feet right of the right field foul pole. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Appleby. This is what your infield looks like. Tanner Wright at third base came in for Brandon Lewis. Shaken at short. Will Pickett's the second baseman. And Jordan McFarland fresh off his grand slam at first base. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt on the fastball, and the count is full. Chase Cockrell out in left field. Andrew Lucas, the center fielder, and Michael Spears doing work out in right field.
The pitcher is Angelo Armenta, and he's only appeared in 1 game this season. That was yesterday against the Riptide, so they've yet to put him on the roster.
And he fouls off a pitch. Angelo fixes his batting gloves and digs back on in there. Appleby, who walked his first hitter. Here's the 3-2 flip. A fly ball inside, well, just outside on the outfield grass, just past the infield. Shaken makes the grab for a pop out and the first out of the inning.
Talk about a tongue twister.
Tried to do a little bit too much there.
But by the way, Armenta, he's listed that he's going to San Diego State on their website, but he's wearing a USC baseball hat in his picture, so not exactly sure. He's also not on the roster. He's kind of the ghost of the CCL right now, if you will.
Bobby Fulkerson, he's 2 for 2. Digs on in there. Pitch away on a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Plenty of clouds here in Thousand Oaks today, especially when you look out to center field from our vantage point over the hills. 1-0 from Appleby. Into the glove of, no, McFarland had it, then dropped it, but Appleby a heads-up play to cover first base anyway. And those get their second out of the inning on the 3-1 putout. And over to second base on the play, Tristan Peterson. That had double play written all over it. I don't know what happened, but McFarland had the ball in his glove 1 second, and then the next second he didn't have it in his glove. So runner on second base, 2 outs. Cameron Briggs, who's 2 for 3 with 2 base hits, a new hitter. Appleby trying to get through a clean frame right here. Just inside, 1-0. As of now, this is the biggest margin of victory, or this would be the biggest margin of victory for the Oaks all season long. 1-0, liner shaken all over it. Grabs it, snags it, ends the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. A runner left on base. 6.5 are done. We go to the bottom 7th inning after this break. 13-1 Kineo on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We're back for the bottom of the 7th inning. Michael Spears, Brandon Lewis, Jordan McFarland, the 3-up. Michael Spears, the first to dig on in there. He's walked 3 times today, but he's 0 for 1. We have a new left fielder out for the Arroyo Seco Saints. We'll get you that name in a second. First pitch to Spears. A jam shot foul ball out of play to the right side. No balls and 1 strike. New left fielder is Dalton Ney. No balls, a strike to Spears. A 2-seamer stays outside. A ball and a strike. Coach Solis has got to be pleased with his Oaks team today. 1-1, slammed into right field, down for a hit. Spears, finally his first hit of the ball game. He's been having productive at-bat after productive at-bat, finally rewarded with a base hit.
He's only 1 for 2, though. He's been up to the plate 5 times. He's reached base 4 times. He has 3 walks and 3 runs scored on those 3 walks, but only 1 for 2 in the books. I would still say a very productive day for Mr. Michael Spears.
Tanner Wright, his first at-bat. A new hitter here. In for Brandon Lewis. Takes 79 away. 1-0. Tanner Wright has been one of the pleasant surprises for the Oaks team, to say the least. How about this? 314, 13 RBIs. 1-0 on the outside corner, and the count even at 1. Tanner Wright, always one to get the big hit. His on-base percentage approaching 400, but it sits at 392. Shallow Skyer, into the clouds it goes, and now into the glove of the shortstop, Angelo, for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, just a little bit too far under. That was Mr. Tyler Ryan. But overall, or excuse me, Tanner Wright, my mistake. Tyler Ryan is actually waiting on deck as a pinch hitter and plays Chase Cockrell. But overall, Tanner Wright has had a really good season. Probably not used to batting number 2, though, in the lineup.
McFarland on cycle watch. Another deep drive to left field. I got a little bit too excited. A relatively routine fly out to Dalton Ney out in left field. The second out of the inning. I thought that was going to be down the line and possibly a 3-bagger for the cycle.
Nah, I think that was a pretty loud out, and your inflection was pretty good at describing exactly how it was off the bat, because off the bat, these are very exciting hits. It just died out there in left field.
I always appreciate your feedback, Jonathan.
I'm glad somebody does.
2 outs in the inning for the new pinch hitter, Tyler Ryan, in for Chase Cockrell. Bailey Holbrook waits on deck. Ryan, a slam shot into the glove of the shortstop, Angelo. Pitch to the second baseman, Fulkerson. A 6-3 putout to end the inning. Excuse me, 6-4 putout to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We're through 7 full innings. To the 8th we go on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The Oaks up 13-1. We're back, and you just missed the first pitch. It was a foul ball off the bat of Drew Calley. Out of play to the left side, 0-1. Nick Ringcover delivers his second pitch of the ball game, this time outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. David Appleby went 1 inning. No hits, no runs, a walk. Didn't strike out any batters in a productive, solid frame out of the bullpen. Nick Ringcover. I'll give you his line in a moment. The 1-1, a big looping curveball, but it misses high, 2-1. Ringcover in 9 appearances this year. How about this? A 1.76 ERA, a whip under 1 at .78. 2-1 misses high and away, 3 balls and a strike. Ringcover has also struck out 17 batters in 15 1/3 innings pitched. A fastball slider changeup combination. And the 3-1 misses low. A 5-pitch walk to Drew Calley. And he leads off the 8th inning on first base.
How about this? Jerry Ramirez, who started for the Oaks, did not give up a walk in 5 innings. Eric Ma followed him, went an inning, gave up a walk. David Appleby followed Eric Ma, went an inning, and gave up a walk. Nick Ringcover followed up Appleby. So far in the first batter he's faced, he's given up a walk. So something had to give with his bullpen, and after Jerry Ramirez did a great job not walking any batters, the bullpen in each of the 3 innings that a new pitcher's come in has walked a batter.
Nick Lacio, the Michigan State Spartan, takes the first pitch up and in. 1-0. Calley off of first base. 1-0 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Head coach Solis has certainly got to be proud of his boys. The way they've fought back from the early season struggles this year to not just make a comeback, but to really establish themselves as one of the premier teams in the CCL. 2-0 misses down and in, and Ringcover quickly behind 3-0 in danger of walking his second consecutive hitter. This is Coach Solis' 6th year of work for the Conejo Oaks. As the 3-0 pitch is in there, 3 balls, a strike. Nick Ringcover had only walked 5 batters coming in to this inning. A scorcher down the left field line, but foul. And Ringcover fights back in the count and gets it to 3-2. On the other side, the Saints, coached by Sean Bueller. This is his first year as the head coach. 3-2. Ground ball just left of the third base line. Tiana Wright thought about grabbing it, but he lets it go by him. And is that Angus Denton out in the bullpen who fielded it? I believe it is.
Yeah, he's just throwing some bullpen, though.
I don't think he'll be going today. Well,
maybe. Very, very true. Maybe he wants some innings in, but there's no reason to put the start closer in if he's not needed.
Well, with 2 days off, I wouldn't be super surprised. That hits the batter. They're going to see if he swung. He did not. So Ringcover. Oh, here's the appeal. And yes, he did go, says the first base umpire. I thought he already made the call. There's some confusion
now. The second base umpire said he went, and now the second base umpire is appealing to the first base umpire.
No, the first base umpire said he went, and now the first base umpire's not paying attention.
He's eating sunflower seeds. I'm really confused what's going on right now. The second base umpire, though, is holding up a fist like he went around, which he is.
I thought it was a swinging strikeout. It was a nasty slider. It did hit the hitter, but he did go around.
Yeah, they're going to call strike 3, and that'll be a strikeout swinging technically.
All right, the first of the ball game for Nick Ringcover, and Cooper Williams steps in for his 3rd at-bat of the ball game. So for 3 with a walk. First pitch from Ringcover. Slider down in the dirt. Good block by Kamenko. 1-0. 13 runs, 12 hits, an error for the Oaks. Here's the 1-0 pitch. The toss touches the outside corner. 1-1. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for the Saints, who have struggled all season long. 1-1 delivery. Down low again. 2-1.
Yeah, and Gabriel Chavez, who has absolutely torn up the Oaks from Cal State San Bernardino last year in the first game. This year, not in the lineup today. Not even as a pinch runner. He's the best player on this team.
2-1 low again, and ring cover finds himself behind in another count. 3 balls and a strike. Back to Coach Solis just for a moment. Always have to acknowledge what he does for this team, but ring cover, another miss. 2 walks in the inning. Runners on first and second and out. The 1 out he got was a strikeout, but it actually hit the hitter. But he went around and swung. And we're going to see a pinch hitter here. Ring covers first pitch in there for strike 1.
Yeah, our roster with numbers was not provided to us, so we kind of have to do some digging. We apologize for the delay in the name. Sometimes summer ball can be a little disorganized with the way that teams give us the sheets that we need for our broadcasts.
0-1. Another rip and a miss. 0-2. Looks like Angus is doing some light tossing out in the Oaks bullpen. Maybe we'll see him for an inning.
That appears to be... No, he's wearing number 30, but number 30 was Timothy Post, so I'm confused who they gave his jersey to.
Anyway, he foul-tipped the 0-2 pitch. Cameco can't hold on, so the pinch hitter will fight for another pitch.
Yeah, and Ramsey, our wonderful PA announcer here, as well as our other Oaks interns downstairs, have yet to announce who it is, so maybe this is another ghost of the CCL. Who knows?
0-2. Well, he was ghosted there. Swings through the next pitch, and he'll trot back to the dugout for the second strikeout of the inning and ball game for Nick Ringcover. 2 outs in the inning, 2 on for Jacob Jenkins. Jenkins started the ball game hitting from the left side of the plate, but now as Ringcover throws from the left side, we'll see him bat righty. He's 2 for 3. Low and inside, 1-0.
And we'll see if he's just as effective from the right side of the plate as he was on the left side of the plate.
Coach Solis joined the Oaks staff in 2006. He was an assistant, and he quickly transitioned to manager. He was just so talented. 1-0, scrapes the inside corner, 1-1. Solis used to be an assistant coach for Cal State University, Los Angeles from 1995 to 1999. A 1-1 chopper. Ringcover fields over to first base in time to end the frame. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 13-1 Oaks on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We're in for the bottom of the 8th inning, and it starts out with Bailey Holbrook, who's pinch hitting for Bart West. West's final line today, 1 for 4, with a double in the first inning. The new hitter is Bond, Jackson Bond.
Bart West actually won 1 for 3, Jordan. He did have that sacrifice flyout in the 4th inning.
Oh, you're right about that. 1-0, or the pitch is inside, 1-0. I was just so focused on giving that James Bond-like introduction. Holbrook fouls that one off out of play, 1-1. Jackson Bond, in 6 innings pitched this year, has a 4.50 ERA. Has struck out 2 batters this season. The lefty facing the switch-hitting Holbrook. Next pitch misses wildly. 2-1.
Went behind Bailey. Bailey kind of gave him an eye right there, saying, please don't hit me if you can.
Bailey Holbrook, an 0.94 hitter this year. He does have a home run.
They call him Homer Bailey.
What do you mean they?
I call him Homer Bailey.
There you go, Jonathan. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Homer. The pitch. Fly ball into the setting sun and drops down for a hit. Bailey Holbrook on base now, and maybe that average will creep up above 100 now. His 4th hit of the year.
Doesn't matter how you get on, and Bailey Holbrook found a way to bloop one down the right field line. Those high hit balls have been trouble for some Saints fielders today, and right there, Holbrook made sure he gave another troubling hit to the first baseman Williams and to the right fielder Briggs. Neither of them could get to it, and Holbrook is standing on first base. How about that?
Shaken 0 for 3 now, the new hitter. 2 strikeouts, a walk, a run scored, and a flyout. Takes 64 miles an hour outside, 1-0. One-0 pitch. Shaken, a liner, just fouled down the right field line. Shaken no hits today, but his average still sitting in a pretty good spot, 258. 2 triples, which is tied for the lead on the Oaks. 1 home run and 11 RBIs. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, a big curveball. Shaken swings through it. 1-2.
Focus on how Bond throws these pitches. His windup is typical, but the way he releases is very atypical for a normal pitcher. He comes over his arm and almost pushes that ball out. It's very interesting.
1-2. Shaken takes off speed down and in. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It almost looks like he's throwing a palm ball every time. Obviously, he's not, but the way that he releases it doesn't have that regular action that comes out of a pitcher's hand.
2-2. A runner on, nobody out. Ground ball to the shortstop into left field. Now Shaken's got a hit. 2 straight base hits for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now 2 on, nobody out for Andrew Lucas. Andrews had a very big game today. 2 base hits, a run scored. Actually, 2 runs scored. He's 2 for 3 with a walk at a Cal State Northridge. I wouldn't be surprised if Lucas hits one very hard here. High fly ball, deep right field. Way back at the track and making the catch is Briggs. A throw back into the infield, but not in time to get Holbrook, who tags from second base and goes to third.
You were right. Lucas did hit it very hard, and the wind actually completely died now. If it was blowing at the 10 to 12 miles an hour that it was at the first pitch, I think that ball probably would have been gone, but Lucas got no help right there from the lack of wind.
Runners at the corners and out. Bailey Holbrook on third base. He blooped a base hit into shallow right field. Sam Shaken had a base hit to left field. Anyway, Pickett's an RBI base hit up the middle. He is really heating up. And that's so valuable to have such depth in the middle part of the infield. 14-1 Caneo. now.
Pickett's 3 for 4. He's reached base 4 times. Going out to center once. He has a walk. Have a day, young man. He's going to be very important for this Oaks team down the stretch when playoff implications become ever so more present. Right now, this game is a playoff implication, but with still 2 weeks left in the season, not that bad.
Kamenko, the lone hitter without a hit, takes a first pitch strike at the knees, 0-1. Kamenko 0 for 4, 2 double plays on the ground, a regular 5-3 ground out, and a strikeout. 0-1 on the inside corner, 78 miles an hour, 0-2.
Oh, Will Pickett's 7 for 12, actually 7 for 11 in the last 3 games he's played. He's really heating up that average well above the Mendoza line now.
Oh, yeah. 0-2, way out of play to the right side. And he'll do it again. July 11th. Pretty important day in history, Jonathan. It's one of my favorite stories. When I took U.S. history in high school, Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr's famous duel came on July 11th in 1804. The 0-2 pitch, an eephus pitch. That might be the worst pitch we've seen all year. Way outside. It's 1-2.
I'll finish your story because I have a reference.
All right. Well, first the 1-2 pitch fouled into the parking lot. Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton, 2 of the most important faces in the forming of the United States. Well, they were political enemies. And eventually they had a duel, and, well, Aaron Burr survived and Alexander Hamilton did not. 1-2, a blue base hit into right field, drops down. Shaken around third. The throw to the plate will not be in time. 15-1 Oaks, a 14-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And now all Oaks batters who have started have reached base via at least a base hit. And how about this? 10 of the 12 Oaks batters, because Tanner Wright and Tyler Ryan have both come in as pinch hitters, as well as Bailey Holbrook. Bailey Holbrook got a pinch hit base hit. Tyler Ryan didn't, and Tanner Wright didn't. But 10 of the 12 Oaks hitters have reached base by way of at least a hit.
Michael Spears takes 63 high, 1-0. What's your story about the...
Do you remember, it's not a story, it's just, oh, there's a balk also, by the way, and the Oaks now have runners in scoring position. That eliminates the double play. How about that? But it's more of a reference. It was really funny. Do you remember that Got Milk commercial? And the question was, who is the guy that killed Alexander Hamilton?
Ground ball to shortstop. A runner will come in. And the second out of the inning is a ground out. 6-3 on the putout for Spears. Will Pickett scores from third base.
Well, that commercial single-handedly got me actually to like milk. I didn't like milk. And I thought that I would love U.S. history, but I was not a big milk fan. You know, I like ice cream, but I never liked it by itself. And I thought that was so funny. I gave milk another try. Now I like milk.
There you go. Tanner Wright. Will that be a base hit? Yes, it will. Around third, coming in to score, Zach Kamenko, 17-1 in favor of the Oaks.
Now, 11 of 12 Oaks have reached base via a hit, and they have 17 hits. That's a season high. The most runs put up in a CCL game this season was 16, so the Oaks have topped that. And you talk about a high-powered offense. How about up by 16 right now, this Canelo Oaks team?
McFarland takes 66 away, 1-0. And there is a reason to keep watching, folks, and that's Jordan McFarland. He is on cycle watch, a triple away from being the first Oaks hitter to hit for the cycle this year. 1-0 misses away, 2 balls and no strikes.
And with the lack of velocity Bond has been dealing with, triples are very hard, obviously, but a wide outfield, if he can get one into the corner, McFarland does possess a lot of speed to dig one out to third.
2-0 taken, and it's 2-1. I mean, these pitches are slower than batting practice right now.
Which could be a problem. We've seen Oaks batters really struggle against slow pitches.
Yes, we have. 2 balls, 1 strike. in there. 2-2. McFarland, I don't know what he's waiting for. A big smile on his face.
He knows that these are meatballs. That one right over the heart of the plate. I'm no baseball player, but I'm sure I could at least hit one to second base off of something like that.
2-2. High. And the count is full. McFarland really, really fighting right now.
I guess you could call it that. I think everybody's ready for bed.
Yeah. It's almost completely dark. No more shadows covering the field. Hit hard. Center field. Deep. The center fielder back and making the play to end the inning. Good snag out in center by Jenkins. But the Oaks strike for 4 runs here on the bottom of the 8th inning. Actually, 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're to the 9th inning. Angus Denton will shut the door, most likely for the Oaks, when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Angus Denton is the new pitcher for the Oaks in to end this ball game for the Oaks. Ground ball over to second base. Pickett's fields calmly over to first base. McFarland fields. 1 pitch, 1 out. 2 away from ending this ball game.
Yeah, Tristan Peterson did reach base twice before that, but no dice right there. Angus Denton has had a 4-pitch inning before. We'll see if he can make it a 3-pitch. He throws strikes. He throws them well, and right now, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Ringcover went 1 inning, walked a batter, and got 2 strikeouts. First pitch, outside, 1-0 for Angus Denton. First, the new hitter, is the shortstop, Angelo. 1-0, cracked off the plate. Is it a fair ball? No, it's going to be called foul. It's 1-1. Angus Denton, the Oaks closer, getting some mop-up work here today. Leads the Oaks in ERA at 1.23. His whip, 0.61 in 14 2/3 innings pitched. A 1-1 pitch from Denton. A jam shot, foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Denton is 4 for 4 in save opportunities. Safe to say, he's probably not going to get another save here today.
No, he'll get an inning of work, and that'll be it. Maybe a couple strikeouts.
1-2 swing and a miss. Denton retires Angelo for the 2nd out of the inning, and the Oaks 1 out away with Bobby Fulkerson, the new hitter. He has a great mustache. He's also 2 for 3 today. Jonathan, you mentioned he has the best mustache in the CCL.
Yeah, I have yet to see one top it.
First pitch, cracked off the plate. It's 0-1.
No, I think he actually has the best mustache I've seen in baseball, with the exception of Raleigh Fingers. I don't know how you can get much better than the phenomenal pitcher, or Goose Gossage, if you will, but right now, this man right here, Bobby Fulkerson, takes the cake for me.
0-1. Ground ball, second base. Pickett's fields it. And that will do it. Over to McFarland, and the Oaks finish off their largest margin of victory of the season, 17-1, in favor of Caneo. The winning pitcher, Jerry Ramirez, who went 5 innings, only gave up 1 run, and struck out 3 batters. The losing pitcher, Mark Tyndall, who only lasted 1 2/3, gave up 6 runs, walked 4 batters, and 1 strikeout. The final game time, 3 hours long, right on the dot. The Oaks, yesterday, they did not show up and play their best baseball as they lost to the Foresters 7-2. Clearly that didn't bother them much because, Jonathan, they came to play today.
Yeah, this was a beatdown of the Saints. I don't think you're supposed to beat a Saint like this. Oaks beat a Saint today, but this was pretty incredible. This team was lights out. They were lightning quick on defense. The pitching was resilient. Jerry was absolutely above and beyond phenomenal. And you look at this offense, I mean, from top to bottom, all 9 starters got on base via at least 1 hit. Tanner Wright got a hit as a pinch hitter. Bailey Holbrook got a hit as a pinch hitter. 11 of the Oaks batters they have brought up got hits.
11 of 12.
Excuse me, you're right, 11-12. Tanner Ryan's, pardon me, was very close. He just got robbed of a very hard grounder over to shortstop. But overall, talk about resilience. This was the best offensive outing of the season for this team. And how do they do it? They waited on pitches that they wanted to hit. They didn't swing. They held back on pitches that were in the dirt or high. Yesterday, we saw a lot of those pitches that were outside the zone, upstairs or downstairs, being swung on and missed. Right here, the team who went 3-2 7 times, walked all 7 times in 3-2 counts. That is efficiency right there. Offensive efficiency coupled with great defense and great pitching, and that is how they came away with the win.
Jordan McFarland had a big day, 3 for 5, a grand slam home run in the 5th inning. Chase Cockrell had a double and a home run to right center field. Andrew Lucas, who's going to be interviewed by our own Jonathan Rifkind in just about 5 minutes on Periscope to Twitter, on our Oaks Baseball Twitter. Well, that's just going to about do it for us. The Oaks will be back in action on Friday, on July 13th. Actually, no, it's going to be Saturday in Orange County, 2 off days in a row. And just a reiteration, the Oaks come out on top 17-1, a beatdown over the Arroyo Seco Saints. For everybody who made this broadcast possible, our wonderful intern gang, our wonderful viewers who tuned in all throughout the broadcast, my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkind, our producer, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jordan Brenner, signing off. Have a lovely Wednesday night.